Buongiorno. Oh, hello. Hope you're all well. We have the yo-yo. Yeah, it's all going mad. Got a couple of news stories. Well, I've got a few news stories, but I don't know which ones I'll get through. And then we'll see what's going on. There's protests and God knows what going on today. It's absolutely everywhere. So let's see where the chat takes us. Got me brew. So hopefully we'll work it out as we go along. I see we've got the mosque that was attacked, which I do not condone. I mean, I don't condone anything to do with Islam in any shape or form, but I don't condone going around burning mosques. It's not going to help anyone. That was in East Sussex, I think it was. There's some people who spoke up about Tommy Robinson. It seems it doesn't matter what Tommy says. Tommy Robinson warned people for years and years and years. Nobody listened. Complete ignorance. No, literally try and shoot the messenger, as they say. But here we are, and it seems that not only was Tommy Robinson proved right, but they're still trying to attack him and like slander him, basically. Say he's this, that, and everything else when they're totally wrong. But you have to let me know what you think in the comments. But I don't understand, because I mean, even was it 10 or so years ago, did Tommy Robinson, his younger self, appear at Oxford University saying about Islam? But no, you get tired being a racist for speaking up just because people don't like what they hear, and then obviously tar him with every single brush that they possibly can. And then you find out that the bloke was not only spitting facts, it seems he was actually right. He was actually right about it. %, geese, not 101. 100, because 101% don't exist. But it makes me laugh how everyone wants to say this and that. Oh, but they want to throw the best ones like, oh, Tommy Robinson. You do know that's a fake name. Oh, you do know he's done for mortgage fraud. Well, no, it's his mate who has actually done the mortgage dodginess, and because Tommy Robinson lent him 20 grand, it come back and bit him on the backside. But nonetheless, anyway, doesn't matter in any which way you want to gloss it over and whatever excuses. Tommy was right, and I've got a sneaking suspicion. Obviously, I mean, my channel being shadow banned because I talk about Islam, it's going to get. But that's ignorance. They're completely ignorant. They want to shut the people up that are talking facts, and then when it happens, who are we going to blame? Well, we're not silly. I think it falls down at the feet of the government and Islam. That's the faults. I personally say the government for being completely ignorant and trying to vilify people like Tommy Robinson for speaking up, and YouTube for shadow banning my channel. And the government, I mean, what planet are they on? You got Shabana Mahmood, Sadiq Khan, Keir Starmer, Andy Burnham. They all talk rubbish. They're trying to make out that, oh, we're really sorry for your loss and our hearts. So that doesn't do nothing. It literally does nothing. You stood around for the last 2 years and let people go on hate marches. Pro-Palestine, Palestine action. That's all hate. That's all supporting Islamic terrorism. You've done nothing. So you're all complicit. The government and all the people. Do you know, that popped in my head earlier. Someone said like, oh, are you going to call? Are you going to call? And in my head, I'm like, Ghostbusters. It was, there's a gentleman at a university stood on top of a Palestinian flag, holding an Israeli flag. He's like, freedom of speech. What are you going to do? Are you going to call? And I was like, Ghostbusters. I'd say great minds think alike, but I think it shows our age when, you know, you hear that. But literally, you have to say, Shabana Mahmood, Keir Starmer, Sadiq Khan, Andy Burnham, Rachel Reeves, every single one of them have just stood there doing absolutely nothing for 2 years. Then we get the Manchester Synagogue attack, and they're like, oh, sorry about that. Like, empty words, empty words. No wonder Lammy gets booed and heckled. I mean, it's just pathetic. Did you do anything to stop the actual... I mean, at what part, right? Hamas attack Israel on October the 7th, right? So, right, Israel's going to retaliate. And then you turn around and say, but we're going to side with Hamas and Palestine. How lost, how stupid can people be? Are they that desperate in life to cling on to something? Like, instead of actually going, oh my word, Israel was attacked. For some reason, Hamas have now tried to genocide the Jews again, as written in the Quran. Let's side with Palestine. Like, you what? DJ Blakely, I'm a Christian American and I support Israel. Good man, yeah. I'm a Christian British Christian, whatever, however you want to put it. I don't understand what happens in life for you to think the other way round. You got to be a special kind of duh. That's a very scientific word, duh. But there's got to be something going on in your life that's so sad that you think, do you know what? Let's side with Hamas and Palestine. And we're going all these hate marches calling for the death of all Jews. But as much as we want to support Hamas in their attempt to genocide the Jews, we'll have signs that say we oppose genocide. Well, I can't screw me face up enough. What? This is what we've got to put up with, ladies and gents. People are absolutely awful. And where shall I support Man United? Well, I support Tottenham Hotspur. And they beat Leeds 2-1. Ooh. Last time they played, they'd beaten 4-1 and 4-0. I was hoping for a good scoreline, but no. And Tottenham Hotspur, yes. Jewish team. Who knew that would come back? I've been supporting them since I was about 2. Well, not really 2. But I'm completely befuddled. Is that a word? Befuddled. How anyone can side with Palestine and Palestine action with what it represents. But I've got a lot of what was I going to say? I'm trying to word it in a way that's nice. No, I can't word it in any way nice, so let's sort of hold that back for a mo until I think of a nice way of saying it. I am Christian though, LOL. Good for you. Good for you, beats and tapes. Keeping it real. Because, I mean, when you look at things like Islam and then people siding with it, understanding how we live in the West with Christianity and Judaism, because that's in our country, I don't get how no one clicks that Islam is just incompatible, not only with the West, but us as people. Because how can you ever side with Islamic terrorism? Like trying to wipe out the Jews, bearing in mind, like, obviously, Jesus was a Jew, so, you know, don't really want to turn on the man himself, you know what I mean? But this video changed my mind. If you have time to watch it later. Oh, I'm going to try and post a link. You might have to put spaces in it. But I was literally, I mean, from the get-go, I was just like, you know, something just clicked and was like, this is just so wrong. Like, stand with the Jews. End of. I didn't have to, I wasn't thinking any which way. I just literally looked at this and that and I thought, wow, we got to stand here and support Israel. They're being literally, the Jews are trying, or Islam is trying to genocide the Jews again, because it says in the Quran to kill the Jews and then the Christians. So as soon as they kill the Jews, they're going to be starting on us. We've got sleeper cells all over the country, I'm sure we have. But I'll try and say my bit and get the word out, but obviously I get blooming shadow banned by YouTube, and like my videos and the views and that just suffer. I went through all the videos that had like 60 views or less, I just deleted them. Do you know what I mean? Just all that effort, but you know, what can you do? But if YouTube shadow bans them, what's the point of keeping them up? I get it on TikTok. I just posted a short with Tommy Robinson, and it came up on TikTok saying guideline violation. It only said, what's Tommy Robinson a symbolism of, or is it just a name or something along those lines? And it's doing well on YouTube. I went on TikTok and guidelines. So I renamed it, reposted it, and even now it's only had about 60 views on TikTok, so you can tell they're shadow banning that because it's got Tommy Robinson in it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anything to do, like I said before, Tommy Robinson, asylum seekers, illegal immigrants, Islam, mention any of that, shadow banned. And I don't get it, because my channel's built around the news and this and that, and we can talk about whatever, and we go to the protests here and there, which we'll probably do. Oh, blooming shadow ban, it sucks. Sucks. But Tommy Robinson got an invite. And they turn around saying, apparently, the British Jewish leaders hit out, apparently. They put Thug Tommy Robinson. How do they get the name Thug? What has Tommy Robinson done in any shape or form that warrants being called a thug? Because you can start going, oh, but in 1904, oh, in 1907, you're like, no. Like, recently, other than sparking that bloke out with a preemptive strike to obviously defend himself, that doesn't come under the word thug. That comes under self-defense. So I can't see that many British Jewish leaders saying this, because Tommy stands with Israel. He's basically warning everyone, Islam is this, Islam is that. Have you read the Quran? And he does all that. So in order of opening people's eyes, even though they, you know, still want to be like half ignorant, then surely the Jewish people will be standing with Tommy Robinson and all those like him, like me. You'll be like, yes, you're getting the word out there. Not only do you support the Jews and have respect, you actually see the evils of Islam and call it out and risk being labelled as a bloomin', well, as bigot, fascist, obviously Tommy Robinson there, thug, racist, Islamophobe. We've got it all. Literally, we got it all. So, I mean, I don't get how this is even an article, but I mean, it's not even really an article. It's actually just like little bullet points. Do you know what I mean? There's an Israeli minister, Amici Chikli, has invited far-right activists. They had to get far-right in. I don't know what far-right is, really. It's like far left, far right. But far left makes sense because they're evil and they literally cause criminal damage and this and that. Whereas far right are like, no, it's just the right. But he got invited to Israel, praising him as a courageous leader against radical Islam. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. See? Do you know what I mean? It's not hard. Like, even you there, you're watching this and everything, and you're like, yes, I know Islam is radical. We know Islam is evil. But there's people out there that are just deluded. They're like lying to themselves. But anyway, leading British Jewish organisations, including the Board of Deputies and the Jewish Leadership Council, strongly condemned the invitation, labelling Robinson a thug who represents the worst of Britain. How can you represent the very worst of Britain when you have 150,000 apparently, but it's probably 10 times that, go to a Unite the Kingdom march? There's a clue in that title. And they want to say this, a thug, and he represents the worst of Britain. No, he's bringing out the best of Britain. It won't let you send the link. No, if you can put www blah blah blah, then put dot as in .com whatever, but the video is from the channel Speak the Truth, and title is I visited Hamas. You won't believe this. That's I'll write that down, because you say that's a video that actually changed your mind. So what were you originally like supporting, like the Palestine and Speak the Truth? I visited Hamas. You won't believe this. I will look that up. Because I watched that Israeli advocacy movement with Joseph. So, I believe it already, geez. Don't know why I said it like that. But how can... What are we missing here? Why are they saying that someone like Tommy Robinson is the worst of Britain, or represents the very worst of Britain? So anyone who supports Tommy, he's representing us, so to speak. So we are the worst of Britain, are we? And they're probably the most patriotic people in the whole country, and they want to unite the kingdom, but they're trying to sort of make out you're something like the opposite. So if these people want to unite the kingdom and stand for Christianity, and they're called the very worst of Britain, then what on earth is Islam and the Muslims in Britain? The very, 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 very worst of Britain? Because whatever you think we are, they're worse. 10 times worse. Apparently they criticised Minister Chickley for ignoring the views of the vast majority of British Jews and undermining efforts to combat extremism and foster community cohesion. See, literally the whole opposite. For ignoring and undermining efforts to combat extremism. The extremism is Islam. It's not Tommy Robinson, it's Islam. How many times can you say it? Tommy Robinson, unite the kingdom. Islam, kill all the Jews and then the Christians. Kill all the non-believers, behead them where they stand. No, and you're trying to tell me Tommy Robinson's the problem. How is Tommy Robinson the problem? Pat's leather straps. The leather strap is the strap of the anus. Exactly. My friends and family support the Free Palestine movement. Then I learned about the depth Israel goes to protect citizens. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've tried over and over again to try and wipe out the Jews and failed. So it sort of ruins Islam as well. Because their day will not come until they defeat and kill, basically genocide, ethnically cleanse, whatever you want to call it. All those words are applicable for Islam. But no, we're trying to put that on the Christians of the UK and anyone supporting and including Tommy Robinson. The eyes are the leather strap of the anus. That's the saying. I had to think then. Making me think, Pat. Making me think at 3:20 on a Sunday. I hope you've all had your Sunday roasts. They're so busy spreading a narrative that they think anyone else who speaks the truth is spreading hate speech. Exactly. But the thing is, people like me, like especially like, 5,500 subscribers or whatever, they can shadow ban me and like literally shut me up. But the problem is, someone like Tommy Robinson, it ain't going to happen, is it? So, good to see you smashing the bids out, bro. Yeah, I'm doing my bit, mate. But, being shadow banned sucks, but hopefully people get alerts. But my son didn't get the alert for the live yesterday. I was like... And then I noticed that, because I obviously follow Tommy Robinson, I wasn't subscribed to his YouTube channel when I was. I was like, that's a bit weird. So yeah, something's going on there. But yeah, I'm just going to speak it as it is and say it as it is. I mean, facts are facts. The truth is the truth. You can't like twist it like Islam does to make out this, that and everything else. Do you know what I mean? So, but this really irritates me that they make out these undermining efforts to combat extremism when the extremism is Islam. And how is he undermining the ability of fostering community cohesion? What was Unite the Kingdom? That literally brought everyone together. So what are they on about? Former Tory Cabinet Minister Baroness Sayeeda Warsi and think tank director Sunda Katwala also denounced the invitation, citing Robinson's history of convictions and diversive rhetoric. Again, like, well, we can see with their names, they're probably Muslims, so they're straight in on the attack. And if they're not Muslims, it just goes to show that this is how sick and twisted that these people are, to try and like make out Robinson, his history of convictions and divisive rhetoric. It's now 2025. Why does everyone have to keep looking back and say, oh, but Robinson done this and Robinson done that? I'm sure he regrets a lot of what he done. But whatever he has done and wherever he has been has made him who he is today. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of people following him. So he's obviously doing a lot better than Baroness Saidi Warsaw and director Sundar Katwala. Do you know what I mean? And Keir Starmer and Shabana Mahmood and Sadiq Khan. But the funny thing is, Robinson confirmed he would accept the invitation, planning to visit Jerusalem, the West Bank and other sites, including Gaza, after his upcoming trial. Good. That shut him up, wouldn't it? I've never been to Israel, but I bet it's really nice. I wouldn't mind going. So, yeah, they're at it all over the place. It is obvious what's happening. Like these protests, they're just celebrating, let's face it. Yeah. Yeah, but they went out straight after the Manchester Synagogue attack as well. It's funny because Tommy Robinson obviously stands and opposes all that. And then we've got a government that's actually probably to blame for it, as well as Islam. Do you know what I mean? Sounds like a good album, though. Fuck who represents the West of Britain. Yeah. I'm a fuck. Represents the West of Britain. I'm a fuck. I don't know. This is. Am I supposed to be walking here? Are you all confused? Because I'm sat down and it looks like I'm walking. I need to grow off a bit, don't I? But yeah. They're the ones I mean, mate. Yeah, it's just showing their true colours. Yeah, I thought it's disgusting. I mean, Christ. Literally, like, there's no words for it. Like, you have that sort of, like, literal, like, terrorist attack. That's what it was. Islamic terrorist attack. But to go out on the streets that night and, like you say, cheer and I mean, you got to be a special kind of, like, IQ below 20 or... I mean, you got to have the same intelligence of a banana. Surely. I just don't get it, honestly. How anyone can justify going out the same day, horrendous. Exactly. I mean, I was quite surprised, I have to admit. I thought even that, they wouldn't go that low. It's evil beyond evil. I mean, it's a... Oh, yeah. You're saying what I'm saying, geese. It's just evil, mate. But then, even like yesterday, Saturday, they go out hitting the streets and like Sadiq IQ of a banana, Shabana Mahmood, Keir Starmer, Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Manchester. They could have all done something to ban. They're like, oh, well, we can't ban it. This country's got the right to protest. Then these aren't protests. These are hate marches. They should be banned on that alone. And they should have been banned yesterday. None of the, like, you actually think they've got enough oomph in them, like actual respect to think, do you know what, we'll have a day off. No, they won't, because that's the Islamic ideology. It's sick. They're showing them, mate, and putting them up in lights right now. Yeah, we'll have a look in a minute, see what, maybe you can, point me in the right direction, see what, protests are going on today, because I'm sure there's going to be some. Goes without saying, doesn't it? I mean, I'll bring up, like, live or whatever, and, thousands gather to remember October the 7th and Manchester attack in London. That's with Louis Errington. There's Bob in Speaker's Corner. Soccer in Speaker's Corner. Fallowfield protesting the migrants. Antifa versus mums and dads and the people. Police are lefties. One and only UK channel, that is. So, you know, there's things going on where we can sort of jump in and see what's going on. Let's get through the news. But I do talk verbal diarrhea type, you know. But I will get through it and we'll see what's going on. Yeah, Beats, that's true, mate. But the powers have said absolutely zero about far left Islamic thuggery. Oh, of course they have. They don't want to call that out. But it's funny though, isn't it? You got what? Let's just say there was like 500,000 people on September the 13th. There was 25 arrests and they said eight were from the United Kingdom. Well, there's nearly 400 arrests, was it? Nearly 500 arrests for Palestine Action yesterday. And there's only about 2,000 people then. Or they said, all they expected 1,700 and there wasn't even that. Yet they ended up arresting like 400 of them. So who's the problem? I think it's the Islamic ideology type people. Funny that. It's absolutely crazy. But I don't know if you saw this with regards the attack, but the Manchester Synagogue terror attacker Jihad Al-Shamie screamed, "This is what they get for killing our children," as he brandished a knife at Jewish worshippers, a witness says. Now, I'm trying to find out how to word this one. I've got to try not to swear on my YouTube channel because obviously, like, you know, using swear words is not good. It's not pretty. And people end up turning off what people I do get. But he screamed, "This is what they get for killing our children." What happened on October the 7th at a festival where people's children were? Hamas came through shooting them and then taking them as hostages. And he wants to say, this is what they get for killing our children, when Israel's gone out of its way to keep all innocent victims to a minimum, even though they are only reacting to an act of genocide by Hamas on October the 7th. They literally twist the whole narrative to make out they are the victims. It is pathetic. Bex. Tyrant Fun UK in Bristol. Oh yeah, I did see him earlier actually. He didn't pop up when I was just reading those little bits. A few people live at Speakers Corner. Yeah, Socko and Urban Scoops on the Tommy Robinson channel. The father should be jailed for life for teaching his child to do this to us. Yeah, I spoke about him yesterday. Like he's a trauma surgeon, yet he wants the death of everybody. And I mean, who names that kid Jihad? Jihad. I mean, it's never going to end well. And he actually posted up cheering for October the 7th, saying like they're the men of God or some rubbish. And you're like, he's that backwards. But that's the whole ideology of reading the Quran makes you think like that. So it's not even religious texts, is it? It's just satanic. He named his dog Jihad. He obviously taught him what his purpose in life would be. Yeah. And he was on bail for an alleged rape. There's probably no alleged about that either. I mean, this world's gone absolutely cuckoo nest. It's crazy. I don't know what to say about it, but Jihad. What an absolute stupid name. But Alan Levy was among those who barricaded the doors of Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue in Crumpsall, Greater Manchester, to prevent Al-Shamie stabbing more people. Mr. Levy looked on in horror. A Syrian-born Al-Shamie drove his car into a group of Jewish worshippers before lunging at them with a knife while wearing a fake suicide vest on Thursday, October the 2nd. Police have since revealed the terrorist was on bail for an alleged rape as he carried out the knife attack, which killed Melvin Kravitz, 66, a worshipper who bravely stopped Al-Shamie getting inside the building. It is understood the second victim, Adrian Dolby, who was 53, was accidentally shot dead by a police marksman as he barricaded the doors against Al-Shamie, who was gunned down by armed police. Another man guarding the doors, Yoni Finlay, was also injured in the shooting. That's awful. It's a shame that that happened. But I mean, it all comes down to Al-Shamie and Islam. Recalling the horrific ordeal, Mr. Levy, who was a chairman of trustees at the synagogue, recounted how he also stood barricading the doors against Al-Shamie. Mr. Levy said that Al-Shamie was banging his knife into the glass trying to get through. And he added, we were barricading the doors between us with Rabbi Walker and a number of other congregants. He couldn't get in because we were holding the doors firm. Good for them. And that's probably saved a lot of lives. I mean, think of what he could do if he got in there. And that whopping great knife he was carrying. He shouted, this is what they get for killing our children. Like I said, forget what, you know, what Hamas done on October the 7th with all the innocent children of people from around the world that were at a nice peace festival. Forget about that. What this is about is Al-Shamie saying this is what they get for killing their children. Don't worry about the Jewish children and the festival, October the 7th. Forget that. He's now playing the victim. He then tried to pick up plant pots we had at the bottom of the steps, and he was smashing those against the glass to try and get in. News of the attack sent shockwaves across the country. It did, with Starmer and the Met Police unsuccessfully calling on protesters to cancel today, which was Saturday's demonstration for Palestine Action in Trafalgar Square. Exactly, because Palestine Action are deluded. That's why they're a prescribed terrorist group. They do 7 million quid's worth of damage at the RAF bases and do all the other stupid stuff they've done. And they're like, oh, but we're not whatever. We're going to be stronger and we're not going to let this defeat us in any way. Counter-terror police have granted warrants, giving them extra time to question 4 people arrested on suspicion of preparing terrorist acts, with another 2 also in custody. Yeah, I suppose there's a few that planned it then, was there? The police operation is being led by Counter-Terrorism Police Northwest. They were granted the warrants on Saturday, meaning they can detain 4 of the suspects for a further 5 days. Well, that's something, but it still seems a bit strange that they're probably all part of it. I mean, how did it get through the system? They got all these people planning it. Ignorance, because again, they decide you can't listen to people like Tommy Robinson or any YouTube channel like myself or the other like channels like that maybe support Israel. They're telling you what the problem is, but they're just being absolutely 100% ignorant. The problem is Islam. No, don't say that. Islamophobia. Shut up. It doesn't exist. Islamophobia does not exist. Islam is evil. It teaches death and oppression and how to mistreat women. It is not compatible with anything to do with the West. Western society does not need it. Look what it actually causes, like Manchester Synagogue. But no, do not say anything. Ladies and gents, they want to address the problem. They said they want to get right down to the core of it and find out what actually causes all this. We are screaming Islam, and they're going, oh, we don't know though. We're going to have to keep looking. Islam. We're just not sure what the cause is. It's Islam. What we'd do, we could spend probably £50 million doing research to find out why we keep getting Islamic terror attacks. It's Islam. But yes, we looked in it for the past 2 weeks and we don't know what caused it. Islam. But anyway, we'll have a board meeting, we'll have a Cobra meeting, and we'll see. And what we do, we'll see if we can work it out. It's Islam. But anyway, what we'll do is get more security for the Jews, and we'll even get security for mosques. This is how stupid the people are. Like, it's Islam, but because it comes from, like I say, channels like this or Tommy Robinson, they're not listening. They are not listening at all. So when they say they want to address the real cause and get to the crux of it, they're talking out their backsides. Because there is no way they take that seriously with what they're saying when everyone's telling them it's Islam. Read the Quran, read the Hadiths, understand Islam, do some research. You'll see. No, it's not that. Oh, you're banging your head against a brick wall. That's how stupid the government is. Bobby's debating live on Tommy's channel. Speaker's Corner. Jihad versus Trinity. Oh, is he on there now? Yeah, I did have one up. Let me get me headphones. Don't seem very loud.
Have they been judged, the Jews?
Can you hear it? Doesn't seem very loud.
He judges the Jews by the Torah. There's no mention
and
of
it's
the
full whack.
Injil, but Isa brought the Injil to the Jews, and the Jews should have followed the Injil, so Allah should have judged the Jews by the Injil, not the Torah. Answer that one.
So, did they have, you see the Jews, yeah? They believe in the Torah, right?
Yes.
Did they have a prophecies that the prophet's going to come?
The children are
They have
shields.
prophecies of the Messiah,
Messiah's coming, right?
Yes.
So when the Messiah coming,
You're right there, DJ Blakely. 100%. They must treat their children like part of their strategy. Yep. Oh, the audio's good, is it?
Before you again, Hassan, so you're not listening. If you listen, it'll help you.
I've asked you a question.
I've answered your question.
I told you that.
And then you said, I don't get it then. So I answered your question, and you said, I don't get it. And now I'm going to try it once more to explain what the problem is that you're not getting.
Children, yeah.
You're not listening. Listen, your book says your God sent the Torah to the
Headphones.
Jews, and that Allah will judge the Jews by the Torah. Did you get that point?
Jesus is not there, yeah?
Did you get that point? Right. Your book.
When Jesus doesn't exist.
Did you get that
That's
point?
the time of Moses, yeah?
Did you get that point?
No, but the time of Moses.
No, it's the time of Muhammad.
No.
Is this revealed in the 7th century? Was it revealed by Muhammad? Oh, so it wasn't revealed by Muhammad. Okay. I'm not going to quibble. Fine. It's revealed by Allah. Was it done in the 7th century? Right. So Allah is talking in the 7th century. Did you get that point, Hassan? Right. So we're talking about the 7th century, aren't we, Hassan?
No, but sometimes the Quran talks about the past.
Right. Except it's talking about the present.
Okay, so it said
Can you hear me when I
present
talk
of
over?
the 7th
If I
century.
talk over.
So what's the story behind it? Do you know the context of this?
No,
When
listen.
they come to the prophet,
No, listen.
To be fair, you have to
No,
say the context of
no,
the verse.
you have to be fair.
And you're making a claim.
I am, and I'm trying
You
to
know the story
explain
when
it,
they,
and you
know
just
the story they
continue
come to the
to interrupt.
prophet.
Right.
You know that story?
So let me explain the problem. In Surah 5:44, Allah says that He sent the Torah to the Jews through Moses, and that Allah will judge the Jews by the Torah. The problem with that is this, that in the 1st century, according to Islam, Allah sent Isa to the Jews and gave them the gospel. So if Allah sent a new revelation, what should Allah judge them by? The Torah or the Injil or both? Thank you. Thank you. It should be by the gospel. But yet Allah is saying He's judging them by the Torah.
What's the context of that? Go and tell us.
Right.
Go back to us because you're a scholar. I'm learning from you.
Let's read it.
Let's listen to the context.
Let's read it.
Yeah, the story behind it. When they come to the prophet.
Let's read it.
And yeah, go on.
Let's read it. It was we who revealed the law to Moses, therein was guidance and life. By its standard have been judged the Jews. Why is Allah judging the Jews by the Torah and not the Injil or the Torah and the Injil?
Let me know if you want to go around seeing any protests, what are going on.
Is that context?
Why is Jesus not mentioned? Yes, the context. Yes, Muhammad is speaking to Jews.
No, is that, okay,
Yes, what's the context? I'll give you the context. Here's the context. The Jews came to Muhammad.
Yes.
And said, thank you.
You know it now.
Thank you.
You know the story, don't you?
Thank you.
You know the story then. Go on then.
The Jews came to Muhammad saying, we found a woman caught in adultery. What should we do about it? Should we stone her, in other words? And Allah says,
that's the truth.
Muslims have been putting words in Muhammad's mouth for centuries.
No, we're not Christian.
For centuries.
You
change your
We have
hadith
the
every other week.
we have the Quran. We
You
don't
change your hadith every other week,
We don't have
please.
the first story.
Which
of John.
Quran? Hafs, Wash, Duri, which Quran do you want me to
There's
follow?
no difference.
Yes, there are
You're
differences.
so ignorant. Do you know that?
Yes, there are
It's the same
differences.
Quran. It's the
Yes,
same
there are
Quran.
differences.
He was revealed in Ashra Qira'at.
Yes, there are differences.
No, there's no.
Yes, there are
Okay, what's the
differences.
difference? Go on then.
Right, I'll
Don't-
move
don't
on to
tell us
that.
the difference
I
now.
will.
So stop lying.
I will.
Stop
I'm not lying.
Don't make
You're
claims that you
floundering,
can't even
Hassan.
back up.
You're
Don't
floundering,
make claims that
Hassan.
you can't even back up.
You're floundering. I will. I'm going to embarrass you. I really
No,
will.
you can't back it
I
up.
really will.
You can't back it up.
However,
You don't even know what wash means, you
I'm
don't even
going
know
to finish my point. The point is that the Jews came to Muhammad looking for a decision, and Allah replies, why are they coming to you, Muhammad, for a decision? They have the Torah, not the Torah and the Injil. Why does Allah not say they have the Torah and the Injil?
Same as
Wasn't
you now.
Moses
Same as you.
and
Same as you
Jesus
now.
sent to Israel?
Listen, same as you
Wasn't
now.
Moses and Jesus bringers of books to Israel? Why has Allah forgotten that he sent Isa to Israel?
Go on to listen.
Go on,
Do
answer
Jews-
my question.
Do Jews have a civil court here?
That's not answering my
It
question.
is, it is. They're living
Answer my question.
They're living among Christian and Muslim.
Why did
Yet they
Allah
have their own
forget
ruling.
that he
Why?
sent Isa to the Jews?
It's a civil matter, they have their own
Why
book.
did
They
Allah
have their
forget
own
that he
books
sent
and
the
laws. Why?
Injil to the Jews? Why did Allah only mention the Torah and Moses? Yes, he did.
Okay, was the followers of Jesus
I literally read the two verses to
the
you.
followers of Jesus, sons of Israel?
In the 7th century, the followers of Jesus are the Christians, and most of them were not Jews.
You've asked me a question about the story that they came to the Prophet Muhammad and they told him about the ruling. Yeah,
Which
And
you agreed is correct?
I told you that
Which you agreed is
I
correct?
told you that the Christians and Jews, they've been living among Muslims, yet they have their own ruling. Same as living in England now.
And what is the ruling of the Christians?
Muslim, they
What's
have a
the
civil
ruling
court.
of the Christians?
Muslim, they have a civil
What's the
court.
ruling of the Christians? What's the ruling of the Christians?
What do you mean, what's the ruling?
What's the
Yeah.
ruling of the Christians? I don't know what book you're talking about. What book were you talking about?
What are you talking about? I don't really get it. What's the ruling of the
Sandwich in
So
a
I'll help
bar.
him again, because Hassan doesn't know.
You're just preaching.
The ruling that he's talking about is the Injil. The problem with
I'm
that
saying-
is
I'm
that the
saying-
Christians in the 7th century were not Jews. So why is Allah referring to non-Jews following a book that Allah sent to the Jews in the 7th century? You see, the Quran has cognitive dissonance. He wanted me to show him a contradiction in the Quran. I have shown him a contradiction in the Quran. Now he has to explain
This
it.
is no
And
contradiction.
while he does,
This
I'm
is
going to
not
pull up for him. I'm going to pull up for him different versions of the Quran.
Listen, you're saying basically why the Jews at the time of Prophet Muhammad, they were ruling by their books. Is that what you're saying?
So good afternoon to all of you watching. My name is Wendell Daniel and welcome to Urban Scoop, and we're coming to you live and direct on Tommy Robinson's YouTube and also on Tommy Robinson's Twitter page. And earlier on, while Hassan was looking on his phone, someone said he's actually ordering a bacon sandwich, and I found that was so funny. But today we are going to be closing down at 4 p.m, so in 16 minutes time we're shutting down, and I will be back next week. But from the first
Well, he did. We understand.
Sunday of each
What
month,
happened, brother? We understand
young
it.
Bob
What happened?
will
Why
be
you say
doing
you come with
a
charging me
table
and
here
understand
at
it?
Speaker's Corner for
Yeah,
Urban
it makes
Scoop,
sense to me, but
and that
what
will
you not
be
answer
a
the
regular
question, which is,
monthly
you want me to
event, and that builds upon the table he put out 2 weeks ago for the memorial Charlie Kirk. So from the first Sunday of November and every first Sunday thereafter, Bob, young Bob, will be
because you can't defend that. Defend it, brother.
doing a question and answer session for the entire session
Go and learn.
at Speaker's Corner, and that will be from 1 till 4 p.m.
One
Big up.
that I quote to you is from a book, you can Google it now. It's called Fadal Solomon's Quran, and it shows the 10 Qiraat of the Quran.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Right.
We know.
Right.
I've told you that
Right.
the Quran was revealed with Qur'an.
So-
we
so-
know that. That's not
so-
something new to telling us now.
Except that they disagree.
Okay.
Except that they change the meaning of the text. Right? So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. O Lot, we are the messengers of your Lord. They will not reach you. So take your family on a journey while yet a part of the night remains, and let none of you look back.
What source you reading?
But your wife, she will be afflicted by that which afflicts them. Ibn Kathir and Abu Amir read it as, so take your family on a journey while yet a part of the night remains, and let none of you look
I feel
back
sorry for you, honestly.
except your wife.
I feel sorry.
She will be afflicted by it. So, ladies and gentlemen,
What Qur'an is that?
so, ladies and
Go on
gentlemen,
then.
this is from Ibn Kathir and
What Qur'an?
Abu
No, you
Amir.
show me Qur'an. Show me
Abu
Qur'an.
Amir.
Go on then. Go on,
Right,
go
are
on.
you are you denying that a Qiraat?
No, I'm not denying.
Are
Definitely
you
not.
denying that the Qiraat have different
Listen,
words?
let me put another word.
Are you
Qur'an is
denying
not-
that they have different words?
Qur'an is not a different Quran.
They are different Qurans. There are different Qurans. Let me give you an example. If I say,
I don't see if you're
if
sorry.
I
honestly.
say people
came up
fought
with
in
something
the
that is
way
different.
of Allah, is that the same as saying people died in the way of Allah? Are those two things the same?
Sorry, say that again.
See, he's not listening.
I didn't listen to you.
Yeah, I know you didn't listen. You've
Yeah,
not
go
been
on.
listening all day, Hassan.
I am.
Right? Remember, this is reflecting on Islam. So,
Absolutely, no problem. I haven't
let's
said
do it.
nothing. I
No
haven't said-
problem.
I haven't been arrogant.
Yes,
I'm
you
trying to
have.
learn.
All the
If
way
something that
through.
I don't know, I say I don't
All
know.
the way through.
No, no.
All the way through.
Yeah, of course.
Let's be clear.
Go on then.
In the Quran, in the Qiraat, the half says, and they fought
Are you going to show
in
me
the
where he says
way
that, yeah?
of Allah.
You're going to show me where he says that, yeah?
Are you denying it?
No, no, you're going to show me where he says that.
Are you denying it?
No, no.
Are you
When
denying
you
it?
make your claim,
Are you denying it?
and I'm,
Are you
listen,
denying it?
listen.
Are you denying
different
it?
qira'at.
Are you denying it?
What, different
Are you
qira'at?
denying it?
What, different
Are you
qira'at?
denying the different Qira'at?
No, no, I'm not. I'm
Right.
saying, when you give us
So
an
let
example,
me ask you-
you're going to show us the example of the
Let
Quran.
me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
And I'll continue what you're going to say.
I'm giving you an example.
Give an example. Go on.
Right? Let me. I'll find you a real example.
Go on then.
All right. Right. Bear with us.
Go on. What's the different qira'at?
Yeah, I'm going to give you an
Give me an
example.
example. Tell us the difference and tell me where you're getting from.
I just want to find one that you're not going to trip over and that you can follow.
Oh, trust me. I would never do that, never. In a million years.
Right. Listen. And I'll give you the surah afterwards. Here is a difference in the Qiraat that changes Sharia law. It changes fiqh. So depending on which Qiraat you believe, you're going to do either A or B. And A is not the same as B. Are you listening? So, it says, yet for those who can fast with difficulty, a compensation is allowed to give food for a destitute person. Is person singular or plural? Singular or plural? Person. Singular or plural? Singular. However, ladies and gentlemen,
Which one is
however, ladies and
Which one is
gentlemen,
that? What qira'at is this?
Hisham
What qira'at?
reads in his Qiraat,
What qira'at
a
is the first one you
compensation
said?
is allowed,
The first qira'at you
food
said, which one was
for
that?
destitute people.
People. What's the difference?
Is people plural or singular?
People plural.
Is person singular or plural?
Single.
Is singular the
Handed with
same as
Lubna
plural?
has a link
Might
up.
be the same, but of course,
Is singular
She's
the
talking to some
same as
Muslims,
plural?
acceptable.
Is singular the same as plural?
It can be both acceptable.
Are singular the same as plural?
But according to that text,
I think the answer is obvious. They are not.
tell us what.
And therefore this is a different ruling depending on which
is that what-
Quran you
Is that
follow,
what you claim to
ladies
the
and
Quran? Is that what
gentlemen.
you're saying is a different version of Quran?
Right.
Is that a different
And
version
that's
of Quran?
from Surah 2,
Yes, I have.
Ayah
I feel
184.
sorry for you, honestly.
Ayah 184.
I feel sorry for you.
Right.
Sorry for you.
Let me give you another one.
No, you have to tell us the first one. Which qira'ah was that?
Let me give you another one.
No, I'm not going to listen. Tell us the first one.
I'm
what
now
qira'ah
talking
was
to these people.
it? Exactly.
Yeah, I'm now talking to these people. Let me give you another example. Here's another example of a change in the Quran. Right? It says this. Oh Moses, oh Moses, oh bewitched, he said, you have most assuredly known that none sent these down except the Lord of the heavens and the earth.
I have no issue with Muslims. I have a
I'll
problem
read the full context.
with Islam.
And very truly we gave Moses 9 evident signs, so ask the children of Israel about when he went to them. And then Pharaoh said to him, indeed I think that you, O Moses, are bewitched. He said, you have most surely known that none sent these down except the Lord of the heavens and the earth. But in Al-Kasai's version, Qiraat of the Quran, it says, he said, I have most surely known. Now the thing is, the difference between you have most surely known means that Moses is speaking to Pharaoh. But in Al-Kasai's version of the Quran, Moses says, I have most surely known. In other words, Moses is not referring to Pharaoh, Moses is referring to himself. So which Quran is correct? The Quran that says, my source is Fad al-Solomon's 10 readings of the Qiraat. Fad al-Solomon is a scholar of the Qiraat. Are you a scholar of the Qiraat? No, you're not. But Fad al-Solomon is, and Fad al-Solomon has published this work, ladies and gentlemen. So, was Moses talking to Pharaoh, or was Moses talking about Pharaoh, or was Moses talking about himself? Answer the question. Can't answer the question, can he? Can't answer the question.
Thank you.
Right, ladies and
Can I
gentlemen.
just take the microphone? Thanks, Lawyer. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're done with Hassan. His class is over today. You look after yourself. All right. Can I give you a gift?
No, I'm good.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Nobody's match for you, brother.
Yeah. Poor Hassan. Poor Hassan. Maybe he'll be like Tariq, who'll come back in a few weeks and say he's a Christian. Maybe he will be like Ananda and come back in a few weeks and say he was Christian.
They will learn. They will learn. Sorry, brother.
For all men, because Christ died for our sins. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ has been manifested. It's not because of your obedience to Daddy that saves you. It's the grace of our Lord Jesus. It's the kindness of God to people who are undeserving. None of us deserve salvation, but the grace of God. God is gracious and long-suffering, full of judgment and justice, abundant in mercy and truth. And God, because of God's goodness towards us, He has given His only begotten Son. And only begotten in the Greek language is monogenes. Monogenes, only genetic, only beginning son, only genes, the genes of God are in Jesus Christ. The whole genetic makeup of Jesus Christ was God, God's genetic makeup. And that's what only begotten means. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten, his only genetic son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Our blood is one blood, and our blood is sinful. But the blood of Jesus Christ has no sin, because it's the blood of God. And that's why Paul, writing or saying goodbye to the Ephesian elders, the church at Ephesus, he said, feed, feed. If you love God, you'll feed his people with the Bible. Feed the flock of God, which he has purchased with his own blood. God has purchased the church with his own blood. Feed the flock of God, which he has purchased with his own blood. And that's why the church will be preserved, no matter what, however much they're threatened with murder or with killing. That's what we're doing now. If you want.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So good evening all, my name is Wendell Daniel and welcome to Urban Scoop, and we're coming to you live and direct from the regular Sunday mayhem down here at Speaking.
I had my microphone on, wasn't it? And you could see me. Whee! I thought I'd ask you, I've got Candid with Lubna is live talking to Muslims, and she's posting up the link where you can jump up onto her StreamYard. So while I'm live, I could actually go up there and talk. So if that sounds interesting, let me know. If it doesn't, obviously, we'll have a look and see what's going on in the world. Yeah, Thursday swings are the problem. Yeah, I'm trying to... three problems. Fake profit. Oppression of women. You'll have to beat them until they're green. The treating of women as if they are second-class citizens, only half that of a man. The paedophile prophet. And all the scientific problems, everything. Can I give you a gift? Bob hands him the bacon sandwich. Yeah. There we go. Grooming, terrorism and inbreeding. There we go. Wendy Jr. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. No answer to that, nope. Beats and tapes, there are these groups like Ali Dawa and Hijab who are deliberately provoking Tommy Robinson. Not all Muslims are in on causing strife in the UK. They are embarrassed of them. But they support them. They don't ever condemn them. Bunch of radicals on all sides. You don't get more radical than Islam. Well, why do they keep doing it? Nope, Beats and Tapes not stupid. He's a moderator. He has the power. Pat's Liver Stats, I can discriminately call people the N-word if that entertains. No, but you obviously haven't read the Quran. Yeah, that's the actual moderate standard, yes. Yeah, there's a debate going on with Lubna. Might be worth jumping up on that. Open a chat maybe, who knows. Whoop whoop.
As just a nation that I belong to. It's like being French or Timorese or whatever, where I'm just part of a nation. So that people have, Christians and Muslims have Jews running around in their heads all the time. It has nothing to do with Jews, just so you know. So that's
This is the chat
one
I
of the
could
reasons, I
join
think,
that
why
you
we
see
don't
on
show up to
screen.
engage in these debates. We don't know very much about our own scriptures. Even the religious don't follow everything. We're constantly arguing with one another and coming to, better ideas, even the very religious, about how to practice. And there's so many different interpretations. The idea that you could go to a scripture written, 1500 or 2000 or 2700 years ago, depending on what you're talking about, and pluck one little thing out and say, oh, well, this is what you believe. And that's not the way Jews do it. And just so you know, if you have this morality play in your head, running around that there's Jews all in your life. It's not us. It's not real Jews, okay? It's just in your heads. So let it go. Don't focus on us so much. We're not really that into you. Know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I will let just Leon respond to that as a Christian. Over to you. Yeah.
Well, a couple of things. One, in terms of, well, there was actually, so the first thing I want to say to Zaid, if you're going in, I would stay out of the comments section, because if you look through them, you're just going to get upset. Like, the comment section is one of the most toxic places just in any channel. You're going to get people who are total cowboys and keyboard warriors. Don't let the comments upset you. All right. That's why I try to keep out of these comment sections, especially on these other videos, because the stuff you see, and that's against anybody. But as for what you said, no, we don't believe that. We don't believe like the corrupted, uncorrupted versions of any religions. What we believe as Christians is that that we're following the and I'm saying this as a Christian. I'm not saying this to be offensive. That we would believe that we're following the true way of the Old Testament Jews. And remember, but one thing I'll pick you up on, because a lot of Jewish people say this, that that we took your religion and made it into our own. Our religion.
Don't know
was
whether
founded
it's
by
worth
Jews.
joining this
All
one, the
apostles,
chat with
Jesus Christ
Candid
himself
with
was
Lubna.
a Jew. So our religion was established and founded by Jews. So it's not like we took it. If anything, they took the West. I often love to sort of annoy atheists by saying Christ conquered Rome. I always love to, just as a joke, I love to say that to them. But so it's not like we took your religion. It's more like we adopted a religion that came from Jewish people. And the view of us to you guys is, well, this is a couple of recent popes have said this. A couple of recent popes have referred to Jews as our older brothers in faith. So that's why there's this sort of view of Jews, because you guys are descended from the original carriers of the Old Testament. So I think that's why. But in terms of like, oh, we're just not that into you. Well, I think there's never one way of following any religion. You'll get like, if you notice on one of the lives there was a conversation between a few people having a debate, myself included. It was all Christians, different groups of Christians arguing about which sect of Christianity had it correct. There's never any one way, even in Christianity. But I'm gonna let someone else speak now.
Sorry, I'm finding this a little bit funny. God's chosen people don't give a shit about us. Sorry, I had to make a joke up. Sorry, dear H, you converted to Islam. You are an Englishman and you live in the Middle East. Just so for those of you guys who don't know, what are your thoughts? So sadly, of course, like I've said this again and again, all acts of violence, regardless of race and religion, I condemn that. Of course, I'm not. Why would I feel happy seeing a mosque being burnt down? It's disgusting. I don't go to the mosque, but my nephews do go to the mosque, and family members. So why would I want that? It's disgusting. But I'm also, of course, disgusted by the attack on the synagogue. So, anyways, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I find the UK a pretty violent place in general. In the Arab world where I've lived for over 30 years, it's very safe, and it's safe because the government chooses to make it safe. So I just assume that the British government chooses to not make it safe. Maybe they want to have violence in certain areas to decrease house prices, to pop up house prices in another area. I'm always looking for the economic reason behind what they do. But I guarantee you that if the government wants something, then it will happen. It will materialize. If the government, wants to allow terrorism, then it will happen. If they don't want to allow it, it will not happen. And whatever they want can happen in the space of a very short time. So that said, we've got Noam Sane and Justlian. Okay. Uh, Justlian responded to Noam saying that we are just, a continuation of Judaism somehow, but as a Muslim, I have to address this argument, which is the ideological one. It is at the heart of religion, which is who is our creator? Our creator is God. And, Judaism, and before Judaism, the other prophets, Isaac, Jacob, John, all the way to the first human being created, Adam, peace be upon him. They all preached to believe in God. And then suddenly Christianity says that God has a son. Now, I know that Jews don't believe that. They don't believe that Jesus is God. To call a spade, I'll say that Islam characterizes Jews and Christians in the following. The Jews have incurred God's anger because they
Dogs
know
have done
the
more
truth,
for British
but they
history than
deliberately
Islam.
choose not to follow it.
Pat, that's
And one of the
hilarious.
reasons
You're probably
I've
right,
heard
though.
is that because the Prophet Muhammad was not a Jew. Had he been a Jew, they might have happily followed him. And the Christians,
There's no link for the StreamYard on
as
Canada with Lubna.
the lost, just plainly lost. They're described as the closest Muslims in terms of friendliness, etc. But they're just lost. I mean, you have a whole history of prophets preaching one God, and all of a sudden, God has a son. How is that? Thank you.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm finding this whole conversation quite a bit funny when the topic should be serious. I don't know. Maybe I've just been here too long. It's been 2 hours. Sorry, I'm trying to behave myself. Zed, is there anything you want to say? You're on mute, Zed. Let me unmute you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was muted. Yeah. So, yeah, a couple of those things I just want to say to our friend, our Jewish cousin from Canada, Shalom. This is not about religion. This is not about Jews and Muslims and what have you. Okay, the whole religion thing has been brought in, and I'm talking about the conflict in Israel and Gaza. Islam and religion has been brought into the conversation because of Hamas being a extremist Islamic group. But all this criticism existed before it was created in the days of the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which is a secular movement, nothing to do with religion. And that's why at the time, religion wasn't even brought into it. Okay, so that's one thing. Second thing, to whoever perpetrated this attack on the mosque, this arson attack or whatever, all I can say is, please go ahead, do more attacks. Yeah, go even stab and kill a few Muslims. Okay, all you will do is the opposite of your objective, because you will actually, just like with the Jewish community, who actually every time they are attacked, okay, they come together and it unites them more. The same is happening within the Muslim communities as well. I mean, I'm not a practicing observant Muslim by any stretch, but when attacks like this happen on a mosque, it actually makes me unified with other Muslims. Okay, and I've seen this. This is how Zionism works. The Zionist movement thrives, fed on anti-Semitism
I can't see the link at the
Europe
moment.
and brought them together. And that's why you saw the reaction to the reaction to the attack on the synagogue in Manchester. It's Israeli politicians coming out and saying, "Oh, see, Jews in the UK are unsafe. You should emigrate to Israel." Okay, they exploit that, and all I'm saying is that just the one thing I really admire about the Jews is that it brings them together, and they do, despite their different sects and difference of opinions, they come together united. And
Can I ask you, Zed, do
these
you think,
attacks will have the same effect on the Muslim community.
can
Will
I
bring
just
Muslims
ask you,
together.
Zed, do you not feel there's no smoke without fire?
Of course not.
Like,
There's always.
that's what I'm saying.
Of
So
course
where
not.
do you, how do you think, do you feel Muslims in this country need to improve? And if so, how and why?
Yes, of course. We're not perfect by our stretch. We have, very bad Muslims. I mean, back to your favorite, subject, the grooming gangs and what have you. Terrible, terrible. And the most critical of them, of these grooming gangs, because are other Muslims, especially Arab Muslims, because they were found out to be mainly Pakistani and probably Afghani Pashtun Muslims, from some obscure backwater primitive villages in the middle of Pakistan or whatever, uneducated, misogynistic, tribal, kind of backward thinking. They weren't, Palestinian Muslim doctors or Turkish Muslim businessmen or Moroccans or Mauritians or Kuwaitis, were they? No, they were specifically, a bunch of backward, primitive, uneducated, illiterate people from God knows where. Certainly not the best of Pakistanis. I can tell you, because and yes, of course there are bad Muslims, and they ruin it for the rest of us, just like this Syrian terrorist guy has done as well.
Can I just say, Noam King's got his hand up.
This guy Jihad Al-Shamie, who's now fearful the most? Because I know all the other Syrian refugees who have come to the UK, who live here, who are so thankful to the UK for saving them and giving them refuge after escaping the civil war in Syria. They're all afraid because now that they'll all be targeted for revenge. So yes, there are absolutely problems, and what can we do? And attacks like this will happen. These lone wolf attacks. The guy Jihad Al-Shamie was not on the police watch list. He wasn't on anyone's radar. Nobody suspected him.
Right, Slim, I'm just seeing if I can get a link to go up on Candid with Lubna.
Sorry, can I just say that David's got his hand up? So can I come to David? I will need to go shortly, guys, because I've been here 2 hours. David, over to you, and then DH, if you wanted to say anything in the final, then I'm going to go.
Hey guys,
Oh, maybe
really,
not then.
really sorry that I'm taking a lot of time, and I really did not intend to, but Zaid, you're kind of among the exact people who I want to be able to reach with a different way of looking at things. I mean, one of the things that you say is, innocent people suffer for things that they didn't have anything to do with. I want to point out one of the things that I mentioned when I talked about false equivalency is the attack on the mosque. I think most of us know that it wasn't Jews or Zionists that did this, although Zionist is a pretty wide, there's lots of Christian Zionists. There's more Christian Zionists than there are Jewish Zionists. But I kind of want to boil it down to what, at least to Jews, Zionism means, and I think we have to take this right back to the question of values and shared a basic value that every human has the right to be safe, and that bodily safety and security is something that's just not been guaranteed to Jews in 2,000 years of exile, and I think when Israelis might say, you know what, you're safe here. If you come to Israel, you're going to be safe to be openly Jewish here, and that is a problem. If my kids wanted to walk around wearing a Star of David, we live downtown in Toronto. That could just get them into trouble that they don't need. So why do I need to have my kids hide that? I don't want my kids to have to hide that, and you can't say that the attack, which looks like it was in the middle of the night, and we've had synagogues attacked, Jewish schools attacked, and this has just become normal here, where every Jewish place of worship, every Jewish school has to be guarded by security guards. That's not right. That should not be the case. And I think using the word Zionism, it's now become a dirty word for people. It's not. It's just that we want to have our own place where we get to make the rules and where we're safe to be who we are. That's not to the exclusion of anybody else. And I don't want to get into all the history. There's obviously a lot. And this is all really quite upsetting to me, that you don't see that the problems that you have with your own community are
over there, look. The star of the moment.
Don't know what's going on here, but we'll have a look, see what's else is going on. Obviously, Canterbury Lubna will be ending soon, so no point sitting around waiting. We'll see what's going on. Some protest. This is Epping in Manchester.
UK. That is a cool defender. I'll tell you that. Fly the flag. Welcome everyone. It's even in the trees. Here comes the cars again. Up and down.
Busy there.
Even a little mini.
Busy and loud.
He comes in with his little Hyundai.
He done another video the other day, didn't he? He done it sort of like offline. He was just like doing it on from home. Yeah. Google Maps. And he went into someone's garden. Yeah. Help.
This is BB Audits.
Well, no, because we've actually seen this place. So we actually drove past it. It's actually a front garden. It's not even a front garden. It's just like
Epping.
a bit of open grass. Yeah. And as he's running
Different angle.
towards it, he slammed the door. But there's no broken fences or anything like that. Yeah. So that's the next move. And then we've got these new laws coming. Now they're being followed, didn't they? the coach. Well, police escort now.
Yeah, they've got to be under police escort now. These
That'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Literally.
See how much they go out of their way to do things for them.
Martin, it's not that.
But AI and
How much they
this speed
great
is
lengths.
epping.
Yeah, they bend
Yeah.
over.
that they go to. You know, like
Let's go back to AY. He's talking. Make sure we've got a bit
you know.
It weren't just one coach, it's two coaches.
Make sure you can
No,
hear
but-
him.
They try to justify things going on late at night.
Mate, we followed them into a housing estate where the front door to the hotel was dead opposite the school.
Yeah, literally.
Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
Like that
Do you know what I mean? Yes, like literally the road.
This road distance,
Yeah.
hotel door to
It's
school,
like an open
school
exit. I
gates.
don't think the gate was it even closed.
Couldn't believe it.
No,
Could not believe
Fake
it.
Video, I think then that was shut, and then you try
Yeah.
to press the buzzer. He went literally around the front.
Yeah,
But like
Then
I
he-
say,
then
do you know
he
what?
couldn't get in, so what happens if they're not there?
I think
Mate.
he did get in at the end. We was actually
They
helping
go
him.
back there.
We
They
was
go back
actually
to
helping
the
him by saying front doors here, like he has to go in this way and that.
Mate, the only reason why we was out with him because we wanted to hurry up and get off to the next one.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to go home. Yeah. It was getting to like 2 o'clock in the morning and thinking he's only dropping ones and twos off here. Yeah.
When we got to that last one, we got arrested. It was still 16 on the bus. 16
16 on the bus still.
Still another 4 drops to do.
I just can't believe the.
Well, there is, no. And that's a worker.
Is it?
That's a worker. You can see the thing around their neck. Look, there's another one now. They're workers.
Why they put that flag there for, do you reckon?
Stop people just looking
It
through.
says laundry on it.
Yeah,
You
to
can
stop
see,
people
like,
looking
she's
through.
got a ID badge around her neck.
But let me tell you something. Me and BB will be back on the case very soon. Yeah, we've got a plan for these.
This,
Yeah.
look, this could be a good plan.
No, I don't.
Right. Let's have a look. Got to make my myself so you can actually see it. Oh, happy days. Literally there's 2 people in Epping filming that, and there's not really much else going on. There is another stream going, but it keeps circling, like loading and loading, so what can we do? So yeah. So I was having a quick look to see what we got going on, but it's not a great deal. But yeah, obviously we're all aware. Obviously, we said about the mosque that actually it's been treated as a hate crime for being burnt. I think it was East Sussex, but we'll read it and we'll see and we'll find out. But obviously, it don't involve any people, so there's no injuries. Excuse me, this way, that way, or anything else. But I think there's always going to be some sort of backlash. I mean, if Islamists want to go around and sort of blow things up and stab people and do things like they did in Manchester Synagogue, then some sort of reaction is inevitable. It always is. But basically, so I just saw that comment on that they've actually banned hotel protests. In what sense? I thought they couldn't ban the hate marches for Palestine, literally, or the cheering for the Manchester Synagogue, but you're telling me they can actually ban hotel protests? That's crazy. I mean, I don't condone actions like this, but it was inevitable. There's going to be some sort of reaction because people are starting to react now because Islam is evil. There is absolutely nothing good about Islam in any shape or form. It breeds hate. And we've seen it. We can witness it. 7/7, 9/11. And all the other ones, including the Manchester Synagogue. 66,000 Islamic terrorist attacks in 50 years. That tells you there's something going on there, and it's not the religion of religion of police, the religion of peace, is it? It's a religion of death. Maybe that's why they called it the religion of peace, because, you know, Turkey, they can lie. So, I mean, blimey. You can get things done in a heartbeat when they want it done. Yes. So why are they banning the hotels then? I've not seen anything about that. I'll have a quick search, but that's crazy. Actually ban. Oh, learn how to spell. Let's have a look. I see police are going to get new powers to restrict protests, but I thought that would be directed at the hate marches of Palestine and Palestine Action. Epping anti-migrant protests have cost £1.6 million to police so far. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But there's been a suspected arson attack on a mosque in a seaside town, and it's been condemned as disgusting as police investigate the blaze as a hate crime. I don't know what you call Thursday, the 2nd of October, the Manchester Mosque, there, Manchester Synagogue. Then the blaze damaged the front entrance of the mosque and a car in Peacehaven, East Sussex. They were called to reports of an arson attack in Phyllis Avenue just before 10 p.m. Saturday. Labour MP for Brighton, Kemptown and Peacehaven said in his post on X, appalled by the disgusting arson attack on Peacehaven Mosque last night. And there were no entries. It's purely by chance. Well, at 10 o'clock at night, there's not going to be anyone in the mosque, is there? They're quick to call that out. Did he call out the Manchester attack? Probably not. The violence and hatred has no place in our peaceful, tolerant local community. We will root it out and we stand in solidarity with all affected. Quick, Muslims, jump on it. Play the victim. Yay! Islam, play the victim. Play the victim. Image and footage being shared online show a burnt out car at the entrance to the mosque. The leader of the local council, Lewis District, said she was shocked and saddened. This is a deeply distressing incident that strikes at the heart of our community, opposed to an actual knife attack where people end up dead. Are they for real? I bet these people didn't say nothing about the Manchester Synagogue attack, but they're worried about a stupid little fire in a mosque. I don't condone it, anything, there's no need for any of it, but if you're actually literally being called out for doing nothing about the hate marches with their pro-Palestine and Palestine Action rubbish and shouting their chants river to the sea to try and literally genocide all Jews, there's going to be some type of reaction. And what we're looking at, like I say, it was inevitable. Absolutely inevitable. These things you question, like, I bet a Muslim went out and done that, and then they can play the victim. Oh, we got attacked too. Do you know what I mean? That's the mentality of Islam, and it's taqiyya, i.e. abilities to lie. So it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Detective Superintendent Carrie Bahana said, "We understand the concerns this has caused within the community and the impact that will be felt by the Muslim community as a result." What a piddly little fire in a mosque. Don't worry about the Jews though. There's an increased police presence at the scene. Zero tolerance. And that's all I'm going to read about it because I don't actually care. Don't condone it. It's not good. But I don't care. No one's hurt. So whatever. Whatever. Should still be thinking about the Jews, but no. But something is worrying. And I've said, how many times have I said the word sleeper cell lately? Because this will make you think. Here we have the warning of the ISIS sleeper cells activating in wake of Manchester Synagogue terror attack. I mean, it's not going to get any more worse than a blooming synagogue attack, is it? And you know there will be sleeper cells because you're inviting them all in free of charge. Illegal immigrants, come on in. P, hi wizard, how are you, pal? I'm all good, Mr. P. Is that Mr. P, Mrs. P, Mr. P? I hope you are well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Any questions or anything you want to say, just say it in the chat, my friend. Not a problem. I think there's, I'm trying to ignore the little bit of banter there. No point bringing that up on screen. But protesters banned by the police from the Britannia Hotel for 28 days under a Section 42 order. History debunked. 28 days. Wow. But so it's hate marches galore. Not a problem. Do it in the centre of London. Bring all traffic to a standstill. Like, look at us, pro-Palestine idiots supporting Islamic terrorism, and they use their rights to ban protest outside Britannia Hotel for 28 days. Well, I've got a feeling it's not making any sense, people. Make it make sense, people. It's in gaslighting, Wendy and Junior said. Who's gaslighting? Trying to find ones that I can actually click on. But yeah, you all have opinions, and we all have one. Yes, we do. Pat, I wouldn't even bother, mate. Timothy, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was zooming in where we actually sort of joined that panel, and then that I think she's going to end it, and I was like, yeah, that'd do, because like I've got a feeling when I start talking, they'll all take offence. I'll tell them about the Quran and the Hadiths and why there's problems and Islam is an issue. Boom. I would have come through. I'm going to say I'll come through like a bit of TNT, but I can't really say that when we're talking about Islam, because they'll be like, oh, can I have some? But yeah, turds. Turds. I heard that word in ages. But yeah, yeah, Pat's leather straps has answered like everything, but Mr. Boats explores a lot worse. There's literally an army of them. What's that? Muslims. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a man of a certain ideologies read the room. Just get those questions answered. Timothy, on what sense? I mean, I used to sort of stay out of politics, so I've always had opinions, which I normally keep to myself, but here I don't, obviously. But have I changed my political opinions over time? In a sense, like I like Boris Johnson, and then I didn't. No, normally I'm on the ball. And what I think is what I stand by. But I wouldn't say I'm always open to have my mind changed about anything. Obviously, not a problem. But no, I wouldn't say it's changed over time. I've always been on the side of Israel. I've always been on the side of Ukraine, and I've always thought, like, you know, it's 2025. The fact we're even having wars is ridiculous. No, I wouldn't say. I can't think in the back of my head anywhere where I've actually changed my political opinion. So no, maybe not. I normally, you know, once I come out and say something, I've stuck by it. But obviously, anything I've ever said, no one said anything to make me think, oh, hang on. So unless I'm just on the right side, because, you know, Israel. But I'm not. I'm not normally one to change my mind. I mean, it's got to be quite a convincing argument, I'll be honest. Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't say I've changed my opinions. No, not that I can recollect. Unless you can call me out because you've heard me say something and then backtrack on it. That's always possible. But I can see what's going on there. I'm not putting these. Come on, everybody. But yeah, that's the Muslim way, innit? They are very, very limited. The Quran that they have nowadays was written by German in the 1800s. So there you go. Righto, Mr. Wizard. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of be honest that I don't genuinely recollect changing my mind or something. So, but yeah, I think we've always got to be sort of man enough or woman enough to sit and think, right, you know, if you say something, I'm willing to change my mind. You've got to think like that, surely. You can't just be stubborn about it. But like a bit like Greta Thunberg, she's all about climate change, and now she's in a big diesel guzzling boat going across the ocean, 50 boats. No, we don't do any slavery. That's another thing with Islam, isn't it? You're a slave to God. God's like, no, don't be a slave, mate. God does not stand by slaves. But yeah, this is quite worrying. ISIS sleeper cells activated in the wake of Manchester Synagogue terror attack. I mean, I've been saying, like, people come, like the illegal immigrants or whatever, and other people that are here probably through legal means or whatever, Muslims, because obviously for some reason we're not big enough or brave enough to ban Islam as a death cult. So with their beliefs and what they've learned, I mean, they're always going to be, they're not going to take a lot of convincing, are they, to suddenly give it all this, that and a bag of chips and actually create other terrorist attacks like the synagogue and everything. So, because we had Manchester Arena, then the Manchester Synagogue, I mean, there's literally something wrong in society, and it's Islam. A Syrian politician, has warned the UK could face threats of ISIS sleeper cells in the wake of the terrorist attack on a synagogue, which came just days after Islamic extremists called on followers to kill Christians and Jews in the West. That's what I was telling. Remember, I've done the other video about Iran. They were literally calling for all the extremists to stand up and go kill Christians and Jews in the UK and across Europe and the West. In September, we should have carried on reading because this is probably going to tell us now. In September, Islamic State spokesperson Abu Hudayfa al-Ansari ranted it and appealed to zealots around the world that they should murder Jews, Christians and their allies with bombs, bullets, knives and vehicles. There you go. That's what I was done a video about before. See, because I saw it then and I thought it's relevant. It's more relevant now. But that's the problem. They sit there going, Islam, the religion of peace, and they're calling... They want the murder of Jews and Christians and their allies. I mean, blimey heck. I mean, you got to be a bit stupid, ain't you? You get the one biggest gift you could ever get is life. And then you got idiots like Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa said they welcome death more than life. You're like, that's how stupid you really are. Absolute backward, retarded. It's pathetic. Posting his warped call to arms online, he wrote, perfect the plans and diversify the operations, blow up with explosives, burn with incendiary bombs, shoot with fatal bullets, cut and slaughter with sharp knives, run over and crush with buses, and the sincere will not lack a trick to bleed the hearts of Jews, Christians and their allies. Does that sound like the religion of peace? Does that sound like someone who's not actually unhinged? I mean, it's crazy. Wendy and Julia. Muslims are like the Orc army in the Lord of the Rings. There you go. Have you lived in cities in the UK and gone out at night, Mr. Wizard? Yeah, I live in Portsmouth, mate, and I was a doorman. I worked on the pubs for years. Pub doors, and do you know, the worst people to evict from a pub to try and get out, I mean, I'm about to lift a few up and literally just carry them out, women. God, when they go, they go. Blimey, mate. once they've had one too many wine gums, they're a nightmare. Like blokes, I'd walk up and I'll be like, mate, I'll have a chat outside. And that's how I'll get them out. Have a chat outside? Oh, yeah, all right. They will go outside. I'm like, that's it now. You're not coming back in. Sorry. But normally I talk to blokes and that. They're like, oh, yeah, all right. Do you know what I mean? But women, oh, my word. But they live in Portsmouth. I've been out in Southsea, went out Southampton, Bath, been out in London. So I've done a few cities and that, but obviously working in security, I actually worked in London. A blooming nightmare that is, doing that Wembley Arena. Festivals, pubs, but yeah, I mean, I can't physically do that anymore since my heart attack. I'm not allowed because I've got 4 stents. So I used to go down the gym 6 days a week. Now it's 0. I'm just literally do all my whatever exercises without any weights or nothing. But yeah, but as of now, me nights out and all that done and dusted. Security done and dusted. So, but yeah, I live in Portsmouth. So. And that's, you know, I've had a few sort of incidents, knife attacks, deaths, murders, whatever you want to call them, literally sort of 5-10 minutes from my door as well. So it's getting worse in Portsmouth cities. I dread to think what it's in places like Manchester, Newcastle, London, Birmingham. It's probably an absolute nightmare. Yeah, a ridiculous little creature. Yeah, I mean, some of the pictures that you see, and then the best one I shared it on my ex was a picture. It's a mop, and they go, "This is Greta." I was in stitches, and she looked like that king or something, or some character. That it's hilarious. They do make me laugh. So, but I see you say Nigerian Christians. I was reading like they're making out there was literally no genocide of Christians in Nigeria when there is. I saw it and I was like, are they nuts? I think they were calling out Bill Maher and saying like, oh, there is no Nigerian Christian genocide, but there is actually a genocide going on. They couldn't have killing like 1,000 a month at least, and I think it was about 7,000-8,000. I think I've got a link somewhere. I'll have a look. But yeah, the Nigerian genocide Christian type scenario is really like rife. It's horrible. Something wrong with the site and it's Islam. That's bullshit. No, it's not. There's heaps of problems in society outside of Islam. Yeah, maybe so. But I'm still saying one of the biggest, worst problems is Islam. Fact. Islam is absolute pure satanic evil. I mean, if you think a prophet from God is given the God-given right to marry a 6-year-old and consummate the marriage when she was 9, you're deluded. There's something wrong with you. You're special. You're full on retarded. Like, you're the sort of person that gets up and then sits down again because you forget why you got up. I mean, you're that retarded. It's stupid. But one of the biggest problems in society and the country is Islam. Like it or lump it. Oh, you're Islamophobic. Whatever. Don't care. Islam is the problem. The biggest problem. We've got plenty of other issues because we always have done. But Islam is becoming like such a serious problem. And only 6% of the country is Muslim. So work that out. How come it's such... It's crazy. So am I, Mr. P. So am I. I went to school with an Egyptian Copt whose parents had to put a tattoo on him as a child because Muslims kidnap and brainwash their children. They use them, mark the children to help identify. Oh my God. That's what we do with cattle, isn't it? So you can't steal someone. Yeah, he is. He's proud of that. He's proud of that. He's proud of that. Yeah. Hope you've all got your copies. I've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes, having a look around. I thought there might have been more protesters. I was going to jump around, then like do this, like what you see on screen here with the news and that, see what's going on and get us all up to date. But there's not as much going on that I thought there was. But a little bit of speaker's corner. But yeah, Freddo's 5p again. What are they now? 50p odd? Did you have a moral objection with working as a doorman in a pub? No. No issue whatsoever. Act like a pillock. Boosh. Get out. So, no moral objection. I'm doing the world a favour. And many a time I've had to, like, grab a bloke because, like, he's attacking his missus. I mean, what's up with these people? So I'm doing the world a favour. I'm stopping people getting hurt. I'm sending them home. And I could even radio through to other pubs to make sure they didn't get in any other pubs. So they literally had to go home. So literally no moral objection to being a doorman. No. Why should there be? Is there a moral objection to being a doorman? Mr. P. Ali Dar has led many people to Christ. Yes, and so has Mohammed Hijab, I reckon. Especially what's going on with his hotel wife. That's hilarious. Not that smart. No, definitely not. Slim! The economic migrants are destroying every city in the UK. We'll see it and we all know it. Yep, but we're not allowed to say anything. Boom, boom, boom. Shut your mouth, Islamophobia. I don't know why I'm doing that. I can't sing, got no talent. My bad. I apologise. Where alcohol flows, people gamble and drink their money away and beat each other up. Yeah, not all the time. It's not everywhere like that. Do you know what I mean? But they got casinos. You can go there and gamble. And if they want to drink their money when they burn it, let them. And alcohol flows because we're actually free here in the West. It's not like, you know, go to the East and they turn around and say, right, you can't drink alcohol. Well, what's the point of that? You only give them one life and you get told what to do by bloomin' Islam. Don't think so. So, no, I don't have any regrets. Literally none. I've done everyone a favour. Never really, I mean, I've ended up in the smack in the middle of a massive, I had someone pulling the back of my hair because my hair was like this. Someone was pulling it. My missus worked in the pub and she come running over and was like, get off. Some bad pulling my hair because I was holding on to a bloke and she didn't like it. So it was hilarious. It's 7k in the first few months of this year. I wrote something about it. Yeah, I did have a thing. I don't know if I found it. I found it, geez. Let's bring it up. I'll bring it up. Geez. Here it is. I did have it. I told you I had a link. See, I'm always prepared. But over 7,000 Christians massacred in Nigeria by jihadists in 7 months. That's nuts. So that's up to July. And that's over 7,000. So yeah, it's over 1,000 a month, isn't it? So yes, more than 7k. They burned hundreds of churches all over Europe and one of theirs gets slightly singed and it's national news. Yeah, because it's Islamophobic. It's Islamophobia. Got to play the victims. Poor them. Oh, didums. Even though, you know, jihadists are murdering Christians in Nigeria and this and everything else. But no, someone sparked a match and they were like 3 foot away from anyone. But it was deemed to be an attack on Muslims. In the first 7 months of 2025, jihadist groups killed 7,087 Christians in various parts of Nigeria. A new report by the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law has revealed. According to the report released on Sunday, August the 10th, an additional 7,800 people in the West African country were violently seized and abducted for being Christians in the same period. From the number of deaths, Inter-Society estimates that an average of 30 Christians were killed each and every single day in the country that is top of the list of countries where Christians are persecuted the most in the world. So you're talking on average 30 a day. So some days it could be less, some days it could be more. No fewer than 7,087 Christians were massacred across Nigeria in the first 220 days of 2025 from January the 1st to August the 10th, during which no fewer than 7,800 others were violently seized and abducted for being Christians. The report that Inter-Society lead researcher Emeka Balassi sent to ACI Africa on Wednesday, August the 13th, further reads, the brutal massacre of an estimated 7,100 Christians also translates to an average of 30 Christian deaths per day and more than one per hour. But they're saying that there's no Christian genocide going on. Like I say, they called out Bill Maher for it. That's according to the sport. The spike in that brutal and unchecked massacre of defenseless Christians in Nigeria was fueled by increasing number of jihadist Islamic terror groups who have been making unchecked incursions into Nigeria from 2017 to today. There you go. What surprise. Jihadist Islamic terror groups. I'll rest my case. According to Inter-Society, jihadist terror groups in Nigeria are jointly operating under the leadership of jihadist Fulani herdsmen known for wreaking havoc against predominantly Christian farming communities in the country, as well as the Alliance for Jihad in Nigeria, formed since June 2020 in Niger State. Out of the 7,087 Christians massacred in the first 220 days of 2025, Benue State was the worst hit, with more than 1,100 deaths, including the Yelewata massacre of June 13th and 14th, that led to death of 280 Christians. Wow. Benue State also suffered the April Sankera massacre, during which more than 72 defenseless Christians were hacked to death. I think I read about that in the church. They literally got hacked with machetes. Plateau State comes second in the Inter-Society report with an estimated 806 deaths, including more than 300 defenseless Christians massacred in April alone. Southern Kaduna is also top of the list with an estimated 620 Christian deaths, including dozens abducted and killed in captivity, and over 40 confirmed killed in Karu, part of southern Kaduna, as well as hundreds of others killed in the past 220 days of 2025. I think we're getting the idea. Blimey heck. Inter-Society laments that on top of the massacres, Christian leaders in southern Kaduna State have been facing government censorship since late 2024. Victims of jihadist Fulani herdsmen attacks were banned from reporting to the media. Human rights groups and others against unchecked and untracked killings and abductions perpetrated by jihadist Fulani herdsmen and jihadist Fulani bandits. The Human Rights Research Group says, adding that the state also recorded the second largest number of abductions after Niger State, with an estimated 800 people kidnapped. Stay away from Nigeria. Nigeria's Lugbo-land southeast comes fourth in the report, with an estimated 615 Christian deaths, fueled by an upsurge in jihadist attacks and abductions. Other zones severely hit by highly defensive Christians. Death tolls in the hands of the country's Islamist terror jihadist groups are Southwest, with estimated 610 Christian deaths, including killings recorded in Ondo, as well as an upsurge in killing and abductions of indigenous and non-indigenous commuters and interstate travellers using Benin-Or and Or-Sagamu Highway, Lagos-Ibadan Highway and Lagos-Abuja Highway. Apologies if I got them wrong. And many other roads in the region. So basically just travelling down a road, you could just be going to your death. Niger state has also identified in the Inter-Society report as one of the worst hit states with estimated 605 Christian deaths, where Christian populated local government areas of Pekoro, Shiroro, Munya, Rapi, Kundagara and Silesia, hinterland, have been uprooted and almost overrun and wiped out. Wow. In Niger state, Inter-Society reports of incessant abductions, killings, torture, disappearances, forced marriages, sexual harassment, including child defilement, population displacement, forced migration, and forced Islamic conversions. There are also 550 deaths in Nigeria's Kogi state, Edo with 505 deaths, Borno state were recorded estimates 420 Christian deaths, Taraba state accounted for estimated 320 Christian deaths. Well, there you go. We get the idea. Holy moly. Stay the F away from Nigeria. So, true story, the poor lad had a Coptic cross on his wrist. It also makes me sad to think of that story. Having to mark your child for life. You love them so much and would do anything to find them. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, I mean, if that's the only way to keep them safe, then yeah, sod it. I'll do it. Yep, that's that's Islam, innit? The old camel urine. Yep, not a problem with that. But no, alcohol's bad. Things though in the Quran, it actually goes back on that and actually says, because like drinking like grape or something, the juice or something, it's good and it makes you wee. No, me neither. I had a couple of points yesterday for the wife's birthday, but that was it. So, nobody's really seen any bad effects of gambling. Obviously, people probably get angry when they get themselves at it, I assume. But yeah, I'm not in. People can gamble. I'm not a fan. In Dubai, I was told we could drink in the hotel bar, but warned us not to leave the site. Yeah, yeah, because you're not allowed to do anything on the street. You can't drink on the street or anything like that. But sort of Dubai's loosened it a bit, hasn't it? Where you can sort of have a drink here and there, but only indoors. But other places are like, no, no alcohol, no chance. I don't like Ali Dawa because he's a retard and corrupt. He has finances which are unexplained. He's openly corrupt and extremely stupid. Yeah, like the charity, or he was raising some funds or something like that, wasn't he? And that was all seemed a bit dodge. That's a good question. Leather straps. Ali's finance is no good. Mohammed Manichal, good. Yeah. Yep. Christianity. As you're a Muslim, we cannot believe a word you say. Bless you. What was causing your heart attack? If it was because of smoking and drinking, why shouldn't I be able to tell you what to do? You're a human being and I care. Because it's not your right. I mean, you want to make a mistake. Mine was smoking. It wasn't food, it was smoking. But I quit. I don't smoke. And I certainly don't smoke drugs anymore. That all stopped last July. So what's that? 14 months ago. But we've got to live and learn by our mistakes, if we get to learn by it. I mean, not everyone survives a heart attack, but regardless, I mean, it is what it is, and we live the life we live, so. And that was a bloody idiot, and I punch his lights out. Yeah, me too. You see, that's the logic we don't like. I can't stand Ali Dawa, but saying he's worse than a warlord that married a child doesn't make any sense logically. Yep. Yeah, outright. Yeah. I'm just going through. Everyone hates Ali Dawa and Mohammed Hijab. So, you said talking about marrying a child earlier is taking it out of context. You seem to be enjoying telling people what they should do. I ain't doing much next week, so what shall I do next week? Get down on your knees and pray. Whatever you do, make sure you look after yourself. That's probably good advice. No, we will never vow. We never bow to the barbarians. Yes, that's what I think that's what they're all saying. Basically, it does have some sort of Islamic ideology going on there with some of the things. So, not too good at that, mate. No, not out. I can tell you orders follows to kill or take me a slave along with my family. Yep. If he was a better man, he would master himself and give us all a giggle. That's right, Slim. The Muslims are not going to enslave you because these verses, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Well, they would enslave you, they make you a dhimmi, or they'd just kill you or force you to convert. So, yeah, there's plenty of verses about that in it. Convert or die, or pay a jizya, pay your tax. Right, start around here, see what's going on. You haven't given one verse? No. We're all wary of you. I don't even know how to say that. Chin. Foot of it? Yep. You've given no verse that says they cannot or should not do those things. That's very true. Yep. Because there isn't any aspect. It's like, thanks be to God who says, O prophet, fight the infidels and the hypocrites and be harsh with them. Their abode is hell, and what an unfortunate fate awaits them. Go Slim. Do I mean evil if I said to you to stop doing drugs? I'll say it's evil, but you've got no right to tell anyone what they can and can't do. Full stop. That's not you're not on this planet to go around telling people what they can and can't do. We're all allowed to make mistakes. Some people make mistakes and can cost their lives. It's live and learn and live and die. But the freedom to do so. Yes, but there's only doing what their moral standards have told them to do. He tells them to do worse. In fact, all of those are forms of slavery, but death. Yep. Right. Where was I? Where was I, geez? Is this? I read that bit, didn't it? In Syria, tens of thousands of former ISIS followers are guarded by Kurdish-led forces on behalf of the West in the camps the northeast of the country. Dr. Mohammed Mustafa from the Syrian Democratic Council, the political wing of the Kurdish-led forces which safeguard the prisons and detention camps, warned Islamic State sleeper cells were activating once more. Following the fall of the Syrian regime in December, the country witnessed a significant power vacuum, which allowed radical groups, most notably ISIS, to recognise and expand once again. More worried about those that are actually in this country, though. Those sleeper cells, I mean, they're going to do a lot of damage. For this reason, we stress the importance of continuous communication with the international community to raise awareness of the threat posed by ISIS. Yeah, but you say that, you get called Islamophobic. So look, this Islamic terrorist group. Oh, don't be so Islamophobic. which relies on reactivating its sleeper cells and exploiting instability. We have also observed a concerning increase in the attacks against both our forces and civilians in recent times. See, if it's getting worse there, it's then going to come here. Recently, ISIS carried out its first suicide bombing targeting the Christian community inside a church in Damascus, resulting in the deaths of more than 20 people and injuring around 70 others. That's the mentality, though. See, that's ISIS. We wish to extend our deepest condolences to the families of the victims and to the British people, wishing them patience and resilience in facing this tragedy. Patience? In north and east Syria, we in the Syrian Democratic Forces emphasise that the support of our partners in the P3 countries, the United Kingdom, United States and France, remains vital, both in terms of logistical and military assistance, as well as through their continued presence on the ground. And it all comes here. Dr. Mustafa said the new Syrian government, known as HTS, or Jabhat al-Nusra, which seized power in December in Damascus, was not capable of combating terrorism, as they themselves are listed as a terrorist organisation, and some groups maintain strong ties with them. Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem then, isn't it? Let's be honest. Trying to work out what stories I haven't done yet. Just done the ISIS sleeper cells. Oh, done the new powers. Did we do the new powers? Yes. Crack down on repeat protesters. Get rid of that. But something you might know, freedom of speech. That's hilarious. What's freedom of speech? Apparently up to 30 arrests a day. 30 a day. Holy moly. Just for you, apparently, having freedom of speech, but not really, just because you posted something. Well, I can't think where I got up to on the... So, what are you talking about? The migration. Yeah, coming into our country, saying this, that and everything else. And then we work out it's just so they can force their ideology on us. It's terrible. Oh, you live with a migrant that actually also doesn't think Muhammad or the Quran is good for society. Yeah, exactly. He's switched on, isn't he? He's probably quite intelligent. That's probably why he's your best friend. You got to have smart friends. Israel isn't sick. Palestine is. But Palestine doesn't exist. Neither do Palestinians, so... And if people need asylum, no, we shouldn't have to give them a chance at all. One chance is all it takes in order to save someone in your family to get killed because they got stupid Islamic ideology. But you're not allowed to post about that because you get called Islamophobia. In Britain, police officers arrest 30 people a day for offensive online posts. Figures show the police officers make around 12,000 arrests a year under Section 127 of the Communications Act 2003 and Section 1 of the Malicious Communications Act 1988. These acts prohibit causing a nuisance by sending grossly offensive messages or distributing content of an obscene or threatening nature on an electronic communication network. So they're allowed to, you allowed all the Islamists and the Muslims to post up absolute rubbish about Islam and all the lies that they post. You can do all that, But if you post up and say, I hate Islam, it's a satanic cult, the chances are you probably get yourself into trouble. That makes sense. In 2023, officers from 37 police departments made 12,183 arrests. That's 33 arrests per day. And there's nearly 58% more than the number of arrests made prior to the pandemic. In 2019, law enforcement recorded 7,734. Blimey, that's quite a jump, 58%. The statistics have drawn criticism from civil liberty organisations that authorities are over-controlling the internet and threatening free speech through vague communication laws. So there you go. That's all we need to say about that. But it's just ridiculous. 30 people. That's a lot. That is a lot. So yeah, crazy business. Pressing the wrong button in. No, you wouldn't. Imagine the type of things that have to be bad if you had to seek asylum in an Islamic country. Blimey heck. You're better off just staying where you are, I expect. So, just because they can't run their own country, we got to start taking people in. Like, what? But then it's like Palestine. They voted in Hamas. And they probably would today as well. They cheered on October the 7th, didn't they, Palestinians? But no, let's let them into our country with their ideology. I think Islam has turned the countries into rubble. Why don't you become the PM and show us how it's all done? I should. Don't worry about Chin. I should. Yes, the Palestinian people voted in Hamas. It's a crazy world we live in. But what can I say? Let me just because obviously there's always going to be one that says whatever. Hamas was never elected in an election. You got that wrong. Hamas wins huge majority. There you go. Called you out. The Islamic group Hamas has won a huge majority in a parliamentary elections, with Palestinian voters rejecting the long-time rule of the Fatah movement. Of the 132 seats in parliament, Hamas won 76, Fatah 43. The election commission announced on Thursday. Ahmed Khoury, the Palestinian Prime Minister, and his cabinet resigned even before the official results were announced, and Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian president, was to ask Hamas to form the next government. The top Hamas leader, Khaled Mashal, told Abbas his group is ready for a political partnership. And in the first sign of pragmatism, Mahmoud Zahir, a top Hamas official, said the group would extend its year-old truce if Israel reciprocates. If not, then I think we will have no option but to protect our people and our land. It's not even their land. That's the funny bit. But there we go. Called out. So that's from Al Jazeera. So you can say what you like. And the fact that they actually voted. So yeah. So. Oh look, oh no, they're not legitimate. Oh, you're going to tell me that the Mohammed wasn't a PDF next? And you're going to tell me that Aisha wasn't 6 and 9? Doesn't matter whether Hamas is a Palestinian group or not. Hamas got voted in. Right in front of your eyes. Reported by Al Jazeera. Which is obviously their go-to, like, rubbish type thing. But, you know, it's genuine for them. So... But, oh, don't worry about this. Don't worry about all the facts. Chin is right, because they just didn't deem those elections legitimate. All right, then. So we can say that about why Labour's in power. I don't deem that to be legitimate. Is that right, then? So that just means, yeah, cool. So, yeah, there you go. So, one, it is legitimate because, as you can see, it's on screen. They voted. So, you're wrong about Hamas. For a start, they did get voted in because it's right there with the elections. And also, we will know Sahir al-Bakari 5134 that Aisha was 6, and then obviously he forced himself on her, i.e. RAPED, a 9-year-old, and consummated the marriage because obviously at age 9 you can't consent to sex in any shape or form. So, there you go. Fake profit. Fake profit, fake elections, apparently. But it was all reported. So... what can I say? I'm trying to see if I can find... I don't know where the best place to look. Just investigating with regards to the elections. There you go. Support for Hamas. When Hamas won the parliamentary elections in 2006, they secured approximately 44% of the vote, translating to a significant number of seats due to the electoral system in place. Their rise was primarily attributed to widespread discontent with the corrupt and ineffectiveness of the competing Fatah party, which had governed under the Palestinian Authority. Many Palestinians at the time viewed Hamas as a reformist alternative that could provide a voice against Israeli occupation. Oh, so the Palestinians are all for Hamas then? In times of conflict, public support for Hamas tends to increase as a reaction to perceived threats. For instance, following the October the 7th, 2023 attacks on Israel, surveys have indicated a notable surge in support for Hamas, with many Palestinians believing that their actions were justified in the context of ongoing violence and oppression. Ooh, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. What can I say? Sorry about that. I am an illegitimate host. My bad. Hello, Algies. Yeah, yeah, Pakistani Muslim. Yeah, yeah, it could be, couldn't he? Thing is, you got to remember, Muslims are only 6% of this country, yet they fill up about 40% of the prisons. So, Turkey, yeah, doing Turkey, he thinks by saying that he's being clever, but it's obvious. Yeah, he was. He's on bail for an alleged RAPE. Al-Shamie. Yes. You were wrong, Guy. Sorry. That's why I've done research. That's why I've done my research. Like when you say it, cause just in case I'm wrong. So, because you said that, I looked it up and I thought, oh, I might be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I look stupid, mate. I've got my hairstyle making me look stupid. I don't need to say things that are wrong. So I thought, oh, I'll just clarify. Al Jazeera, there it is. Elections, Hamas. Which is just as well. I've said a few times here and there and everywhere going, oh, Hamas were voted in by the Palestinians, and they would do. Because I think it was Douglas Murray who I heard say that they would actually vote in Hamas today as well. And their popularity went, well, basically the word, it surged. It surged after October the 7th. So that tells you the mentality of the Palestinians. And that's why there is no Palestine. There should be no Palestine. Need to, like, you know, give the Israelis and the Jews a break. But don't forget, there's 2 million Muslims that live in Israel and they all live in peace. But no Jews live in peace in an Islamic country. So there we go. We play Family Fortunes, and the top answer is but the top answer is bananas. Oh. Problem among Muslims themselves. Muhammad's moral character. That was 1 of 4 answers. Now you can see why we non-Muslims have a problem. There you go. Yes. Yes, his moral character. Yeah. It's a greatest example to man of all time. Yet in 2025, would be arrested. And in other places, you can get the death penalty. So, you know. They would, and they'd get voted in the West Bank too if they could. Yep. Muhammad's moral character. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's got a lot to be desired, hasn't it? But I've shown it before. Actually, I could show it again, can I? You know, just out of principle. Just out of principle, right? What I'll do, right, geese? I think I showed it the other day. I can't remember when, no. But people like Chun, however you say it in the... this is the problem with the Quran. When you say it's full of absolute rubbish and hate, then here it is. Look at all these. There's 12 verses there. Pick one and tell me which one, you know, is nice. Do you know what I mean? Slay the unbelievers where you find them. Muslims may not take the infidels as friends. Oh, Quran's a religion of peace. Quran? No, Islam. Oh, hurt me arm then. The Jews and Christians are perverts. Fight them. When opportunity arises, kill the infidels wherever you catch them. The unbelievers are stupid. Urge the Muslims to fight them. Muslims must muster all weapons to terrorize the infidels. Terrorize and behead those who believe in scriptures other than the Quran. Any religion other than Islam is not acceptable. Muslims must not take the infidels as friends. Make war on the infidels living in your neighbourhood. Punish the unbelievers with garments of fire, hooked iron rods, boiling water, melt their skin and bellies. Do not hanker for the peace with the infidels, behead them when you catch them. Come on, Engine, tell us. Tell us all about how Islam is a religion of peace. Come on, tell us. We want to know. Come on, come on, come and tell us. Come on. I know! That's Islam for you. It's evil. That's why you need to find Christ. It's terrible. Do you know, I've got, you might want to, understand. Like, you think that's bad. If you think that's bad, right, let me show you someone else. This is a good one. Sharia law. But what you're not getting is what is written in the Quran has been stolen from the Bible and the Torah. They stole and plagiarised everything from the Jews. That's why they say Injil, because they thought there was one gospel, but there's not. Oh, it's the Injil. It's the gospel of Jesus. What? It's never existed, you melon. Jesus was the message. Jesus was the message. The good news was from Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. The Gospels. But here, look. Sharia law. Come on. This is how you want to live. Theft is punishable by amputation of the hands. Yeah, for that you can actually look at the Quran, look, chapter 5, verse 38. Criticising or denying any part of the Quran is punishable by death. I deny the Quran. It's full of crap. It's plagiarised, all stolen text from the Jews and the Christians. And criticising it doesn't make sense. They've got weird, three words going at the beginning, like what? Criticising Muhammad, he had a small willy, or denying that he's a prophet is punishable by death. He's a fake prophet. He was never a prophet. I deny him being a prophet because he was a PDF. Criticising or denying Allah is punishable by death. A Muslim who becomes a non-Muslim is punishable by death, like apostate prophet. A non-Muslim who leads a Muslim away from Islam is punishable by death. A non-Muslim man who marries a Muslim woman is punishable by death. Homosexuality is punishable by death. But sodomizing boys is fine. Did you hear that? Shall I read that one again for you? Because obviously that's, the basis of your life, maybe. Homosexuality is punishable by death, but sodomizing boys is fine. Girls' clitoris should be cut. Girls can be sodomized until and vaginally raped after 8 years of age. What? That's crazy. A woman or girl who has been raped cannot testify in court against her rapist. Testimonies of 4 male witnesses are required to prove rape of a female. A woman or girl who alleges a rape without producing 4 male witnesses is guilty of adultery. But a woman or girl found guilty of adultery is punishable by death. Ta-da! So anything you do, death. You breathing in, death. Did you breathe out? Death. Did you walk? Death. Blimey heck. So basically, not only do you get raped, you then get punished to death because you had adultery. Wow. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know what false accusations have got to do with it, but blimey heck, you're actually going to try and legitimise someone being put to death because they haven't got witnesses to the actual RAPE, so they got to be punished by death. That's crazy. And that just proves that Islam is that far against women. You can literally see why they're held in the same regard as a dog or a donkey. And you can see why when you read that. Blimey heck. But even like the last words on all of them, look, punishable by death, 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 death. Homosexuality is punishable by death, but sodomizing boys is fine. Right, okay. That's shocking. The last time I checked, women and men, they're as important as each other. Without one, there's no point having the other, is there really? Let's be honest. So they should be held equally. Like, that's the whole idea of a marriage, 50-50. But no, not in Islam. 99.9% to 0.1%. Like, if you've got any kids when you divorce, if they are under 6, they stay with the mum. As soon as they hit 6 years old, or they are over 6 years old, they go with the man. They literally just pep all over the woman. So, yeah. How can you have 4 witnesses to an RAPE? How? Oh my God. You have to send out a little memo, a message. Mum, Dad, bro, sis. Oh, I'm just being RAPED'd. I was wondering if you could come and watch it because I need witnesses. It's not going to happen. The whole idea of an RAPE is because a bloke grabs a woman and there's no one about and does whatever he does in the action of the RAPE. To say that they should have 4 witnesses, in my opinion, it's got to be the most stupidest opinion I've ever heard today. That is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I think you got to be right there. Look, just so you know, look, you need 4 witnesses in my opinion. What an absolute retard. Why would you... Oh, a woman isn't trusted on face value. To a degree she is, but then they do the DNA test, and obviously they have like the the crime scene people. They do like what they do. What do they call them? I can't think of the word. They do all the tests. To say that women are wicked is just ridiculous. Yeah, DNA, the one that does all that. Forensics. They get forensic people in, so you get evidence. So you can see there's actual proof on the female that they've been raped. Hence, they get charges and then try and find the man. Blah, blah, blah. But to say, oh, I don't believe her and they're extremely wicked, that really sums up more about you than anything else. To imagine that, a woman being raped and you're there. Oh my God, the poor woman. Oh, don't believe her. Mate, clothes are ripped, she's bleeding, she's been beaten up. Yeah, don't believe her, she's wicked. Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, that's why you follow Islam, I think. That's absolutely stupid. I've heard it all now. So not only a DNA test, you need 4 witnesses. You don't need 4 witnesses if the DNA test and the forensics prove she's been raped. You absolute melon ball. What planet are you on? You obviously have severe issues with women. Severe issues. Bloody hell. That is absolutely ridiculous. Wow. I'll tell you, if there was more people watching, they'll all be in chat calling you out for an absolute bell end, basically. So you don't trust women in any shape or form, and you think a DNA test and 4 witnesses to prove a rape? Are you stupid? I'll tell you he's a Muslim. Yeah, he is. Literally no respect for a woman. That basically sums up the Quran, doesn't it? Literally no respect for women whatsoever. the most this all the time. I catch Muslims prefer to be atheist or Christians all the time on AP's channel. Yeah, that is absolutely... That's basically it, mate. That's what I'm getting at. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's a big F off. The single guy attacks a single woman because it's like, say, an act of, I was going to say convenience. What do you call it? Because the time is right because there's no one around. It's just you and her. Oh, quick. They haven't got 4 witnesses. There's a bloke on YouTube called Chun who's an absolute bellend who says there's got to be 4 witnesses, otherwise it never happened. Regardless of having DNA and evidence and anything like that, you got to have 4 witnesses and DNA now. So I can leave my DNA, but because there's no witnesses, free to go. Happy days. Wow. That is absolute, like, crazy. He's probably married to his first or second cousin. First cousin, I expect. Yeah, his cousin must have just learnt the word no in nursery. Now he's angry. Like, Islam don't give an F about anyone or anything. It's nothing to do with women. You saying things like that. I would, mate, but it's really entertaining. I'm not misinterpreting you in any shape or form. You literally said it in the chat. Yeah, exactly. No, we aren't. No, DNA is enough. But you just said up here. Look, ready? DNA is enough. DNA test plus at least 4 witnesses. Do you want to say anything else? DNA test plus at least 4 witnesses. No, DNA is enough. Yeah, that. Absolute melonhead. No DNA. But it doesn't matter because they can wear a condom, but they can do tests. Like, so I can't really go into too graphic on YouTube, but they can tell by the female's sexual organ that it was against her will. They can tell. There's bruising and other stuff. So even without DNA, it can be proved. And the chances are the woman will scratch and get something under her DNA, some sort of DNA under her nails. So you need to take her word for it until you can prove yay or nay. So it's basically all you're doing is saying that obviously you're a woman hater. You're definitely 100% Muslim. You are a woman hater. Even guys, he might just be gay. Yeah. Don't block it. It's hilarious. It is. I mean, wow. DNA can also be passed easily. Yeah, so it proves, doesn't it, that he was there. Beats. DNA can also be passed easily. Hair, etc. Yeah. But I told you, like, the female's sex organs will show signs of bruising and other stuff, tearing or whatever. So, exactly that. This is your problem. You're gonna be single all your life because you definitely you just want something that some woman that you can beat and control. You're definitely Muslim. I don't have respect for women. That's your problem, mate. You want to sit here giving us advice, telling us we can't drink, we can't smoke, we can't gamble, and you can't even have any respect for a woman. You got more issues than us. Wow. I think you used to be suspicious of any interaction you have with them. Why? Well, I spoke to my wife. Oh, let me phone the police, mate. There's some sort of interaction there. Wow. You are an absolute melonhead. Why rubber dinghy rapid fan? Yeah, without a doubt. Wow. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can actually show that it was consensual or not by certain tests and like ripping and bruising and other stuff. You are so far gone, it's ridiculous. Wow. Women can lie, so can men. You got a man, no, I didn't do it, no, I didn't do it. Oh, okay then, well, you said you didn't do it, then that's it then, is it? Come on now. You can't be that purposely stupid. Come on. Please tell me. You're not that stupid, really. Blimey. Arthur Schopenhauer, never heard of him, no idea. I think you need to understand that, like, you know, actually having a bit of trust in women, blimey, it won't kill you. Yeah, that's it. I think, yeah, we are lucky that nobody cares what you say. You're not only incompetent, you're morally incompetent. Yeah, but then we're not allowed to, like, gamble, drink, or do anything. It's your problem that you can't see that you are literally a woman hater. You are full on 100% Muslim, the way you hate women. The way you talk about women. And oh my God. Yeah, probably trans or gay. He's one or the other. But that is absolutely ridiculous. To say that, like... God, don't ever be a police officer, innit? Oh, just got mugged. No, you never. Just got raped. No, you never. Oh, my house got burgled. No, you never. Why? Because I'm chin and I said so. And I don't trust no one, me. Oh, here we go. No, that's wrong. He's lying again. How many lies have you got? Hamas will hold a child as a shield. What are you on about? Netanyahu and Israel have been sending text messages, leaflets, making phone calls. Get out. And Hamas are like, no, you're staying there. We're hiding behind you. Thank you. So you are morally incompetent because you don't even know the truth. The facts are Netanyahu and Israel have done more than any other country ever in the history of wars to try and minimise it. So you want to say, oh, killing kids and all this and that. Look at World War One. Look at World War Two. Look at any war. Innocent people were killed. And then you want to say, but it's a genocide. There's millions of people in Palestine. There's between 40 and 60,000 innocent people, sadly. That's not a genocide, is it, you muppet? Absolute what? Oh my God. For what? If there's an arrest warrant out for Netanyahu, then there needs to be one for all the Hamas people. But they're signing a deal where everyone just walks away like it never happened, which is a bit weird. So even Hamas get away. Hamas need arresting. Isn't it? Like, oh, there's a genocide. There's 20 billion people and 6 people have been killed. It's a genocide. Is it? Yeah, because it involves the Jews. By the way, Muslims have killed nearly over 250,000 people and 66,000 Islamic terrorist attacks. What? That's not murder. That's resistance. They're fighting for freedom. That's all right. Don't worry about that. There's no bias. I'm telling you facts, mate. You tried to make out something earlier and I called you up on it because Hamas got voted in. No, they never. Yeah, they did. Bosh, have that. There's a genocide. No, there isn't. The problem is Islam, but you're that deluded. Absolutely crazy. I've seen some stupid crap come out of people's mouths, but that coming out your fingers. Keyboard warrior, I think you must be quite bored. Dude, I know a guy that hunted for war crimes in Bosnia and Serbia. That's not how arrest warrants work internationally. And no, I don't trust women. It's not my problem if you can't see the stare in them. We're just rubbish, mate. You're full of it. Based on my own experience, well, your experience is like one off of whatever. That's probably because you act like a complete tit. You're probably accused her of doing this, doing that, doing everything. I bet you're a control freak, narcissist. I bet you gaslight her. I bet you straw man her. Do you know what I mean? It's an absolute Fruit Loop, mate. There's no bias. The problem is that Hamas, Palestine and Islam lie. Oh, there's a starvation. No. That's a disease. It's genetic through incest. Look at the size of the mother. She's absolutely huge, mate. She's morbidly obese, holding a child that literally looks like it's just bone. That is a disease from incest. That's what happens when you have sex with your first and second cousins all the time. They've even proven in Pakistan 6,000% higher rate of incest in Pakistan than anywhere else in the world. Cuckoo nest, mate. Absolute cuckoo nest. That's basically it. He has a trust issue. There's some serious trust issues going on. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Trust issues. Ooh. The only people that could carry out the warrant are about 3 units worldwide, and even they'd have a job at it. Yeah, that gets squashed anyway, because obviously if Hamas get to walk away scot-free after what they done on October the 7th, then Netanyahu, for doing what he's done, which is probably, like I said, a lot more than any other country trying to keep deaths to a minimum, he should be allowed off as well. And that'll be the end of that. Thumbs up, geese. Because there is no genocide. What are you on about? You go down that road. So absolutely crazy. Need to find some proper let's have a look, shall we? Genocide refers to the physical destruction of an entire group in whole or in part that has been targeted on the basis of its identity. This is not Israel's objective in Gaza. Is genocide happening in Gaza? No, Israel is responding to a genocidal attack by Hamas. Israel's actions reflect its desire to spare Palestinian civilians from harm, not to deliberately harm them. Hamas's actions are designed to cause harm to Palestinian civilians and blame Israel. The facts of the genocide charge don't add up. So there we go. That's a brief investigation show. But no, there is no genocide. Absolutely ridiculous. Millions of people. Only 40,000 are dead though. Oh no, genocide, mate, genocide. Don't worry about the fact that, you know, Hamas and the Palestinians tried to genocide the Jews on October the 7th. We forget that little fact. They wouldn't be allowed to do it anyway. The only people that could arrest him is the US. Oh, is us and America. And we're not going to do that. Nope. Even Keir Starmer and that said that there is no genocide. How on earth did you, I can see why you got a problem with women. God, trying to talk to you must be like trying to talk to a brick wall. You say one thing and then you come out with something totally different. There's me going, oh, sadly, between 40 and 60 innocent people have been killed. Sadly. You don't give a hoot about how many children die there, do you? What? Take it up with Hamas. This is all because of Hamas. I do not give two hoots about Palestinians who charged behind Hamas, about 3,000 of them, into Israel because they wanted to kill Jews. And they're the ones that killed all the babies and kids and everything, and killed kids in front of their parents, because that's the Islamic ideology. That's Hamas. And it clearly states that people like Hamas will accuse others of doing what they are doing. So that's funny, isn't it? So I literally, like, I hope the people at Hamas have horrible deaths. Hope they tread on a plug. So, yeah. And no one said it's anyone's fault for being born in a certain geographic location. No one's even said that. They believe, through Farfall the Mouse and all other indoctrinations, like from the Quran and Hadiths, that Jews and Christians are evil. I showed you that list of 12 things that like, kill the infidels, kill Jews, kill Christians, behead them. That's the ideology. So no one said anything about, like, not giving a hoot about children dying. Well, I said 40 to 60,000, unfortunately, have died. But it's a war. What more can you do? Netanyahu never started it, but he's going to bloody finish it, and rightly so. Yeah, it's terrible, but we didn't start the war, neither did Israel. They attacked and took hostages and found out the cost. Yep, we started a war and we're getting our asses kicked by Israel. Oh, can we play the victim now? I know we started it. Yeah, I know we got hostages and we're starving them and we're treating them really bad. But oh, come on, we're losing now. Oh, poor us. Everybody around the world, come on, Palestine, pro-Palestine. How gay. It's all part of the indoctrination. What are you on about, the kids? You literally have no respect for women or anyone, the way you talk. So, you're just retarded. You are retarded. Were you born out of incest? Is that why you're all weird? South Africa called it a genocide. They forgot to mention what's happening to their own wheat farmers or the actual genocide in Nigeria. Yep. Yeah, some of my family, they had to come back from South Africa because they're white and all the trouble being racist to white people. BS, that's a load of crap. They're killing children and the world sees this. You're reading an obscure article. No, I'm not. That's a genuine article. Yeah, Papa. But yeah, but happy days. But yeah, there is no genocide. There is no genocide in Israel. Look at what everything's been done. Look at Islam and Islamists and Muslims. Look what they've done. No. Look at what the Jews are doing. That's what's important. Well done, Chin. Let's call you C. What a stupid name. Probably born through incest, has literally no respect for women. And if you say, oh, 1 + 1 is 2, knobhead there comes back and says, no, it's 78. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm done for now. That's nearly 3 hours of me talking crap. What can I say? But it's been a pleasure. Pats and leather straps in the... Pats leather straps. And there's Wendy Jr., Beats and Tapes, Slim... And I'm trying to have a quick scan through, make sure I don't miss the regulars, you know what I mean? Beats and Tapes and everybody else. It's been happy days. But yeah, we've actually got a absolute Fruit Loop. Cares a lot about maths too. 500 people get killed is okay, but 1,000 people killed is bad. Yeah, that's it. The children. That's exactly what they are. But yeah, but anything that comes out of the fingertips of Chin, absolute rubbish. But then you can join us again tomorrow, Monday to Thursday, 1 PM. We will be live. Obviously, what news is going on, what headlines, and then we'll talk about anything, anything you want to bring up in the chat. We discuss it, of course we will. But it's all happy days. But you are a Fruit Loop, and I'm not going to read anything that you say about reading, because I don't want to be like you. How can you have no respect for women? You're never going to get married. A marriage is 50-50, mate. And my marriage is 49-51 towards the wife, because she gets to say like how we decorate and stuff, and I just do it. But I don't care, because we're happy. So No, we don't believe you about women. You're absolutely full of crap. 100% full of crap. Men and women 50-50. You and your Muslim ways and all that. Christ, yeah. Yeah, exactly that. I know. Like full on Fruit Loop, mate. Actually, bananas. Full on pineapple. I don't know. Look, it's just trolling. There's no way someone could be that stupid. Like, I hate them. I'll check your hard drive. I reckon you swing the other way for other things and weird stuff. I mean, do you like them when they're dead? Necrophiliac. Do you like them when they're dead? Oh, she's dead. I met a woman once on walking back from a nightclub. I met her walking down the railway line, and I took her home, and we had loads of sex and everything, but didn't have a blowjob because I couldn't find her head. Chin's like, oh, that happened to me once. My bad. Ruin the stream with a joke like that. Oops. That's a 100% don't believe you. You know about women. You know why? Because you ain't got one, mate. You ain't got one. You ain't got one, geez. Yeah, I know. That was a good one, though, wasn't it? You can use that. But yeah, crazy. But anyway, right, I need to shut up. That's nearly 3 hours I've been talking. My beard was all curly when I started talking. Now look at it. It's all gone straight. But anyway. But like I say, it was today Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, so Monday to Thursday, 1 p.m. And don't forget, Fridays, 7 p.m, you can come up and talk. If you wish. Got to show your face, though. But some other people that, you know, once they've been here for a while and that, if they want to keep themselves hidden, as long as they show me in the background them, wave, then put their logo up and then want to speak as a logo, then I'll probably allow that. But happy days. But no, there's other protests. They're all gone boring and they're just, I think there's only one in Epping, and then people like all their telly, you know, it was doing all that roundy, like signals weren't brilliant. So what can I say? But anyway, right, happy days, right. Thank you to Beats and Tates, Pat's Leather Straps, DJ Blakely, even Chin being in the back in there, and everyone else, Slim and Co. It's been fantastic today. But yeah, Kushta, yeah, you know, if you want to come out, that's cool. But what I would say, show your face in the back end, so I can see you, to make sure it's all legit. Not that I don't trust you geese, you know, we've got people here who don't trust women. But obviously, we want to make sure don't go Pete Tong in my face, because people try and do things. But show your face, give it a wave, then bring your logo up, and then I'll put you up on screen, and that's fine. Then that's not a problem. At least I've seen your face and happy days. But then, yeah, you can come up and be a logo. That's not a problem. But we can talk about anything, whether it's to do with Islam, the news, a certain news story that you want to talk about. It's not an issue. We do all that, and that's Fridays at 7. So that's to, like, you know, I talk all week. You got to listen to my voice. Sorry about that. So on a Friday, 7 p.m, I'll do a news story or 3, and then that's it. You can come up. We can have a chat, debate, whatever, or we can see what's going on in the chat, in the live chat, and we can sort of talk about that and talk to people, you know, like what we're doing with Chin. But you'll be up here saying what I'm saying, and we're probably fighting to it. Who's got to say whatever we want to say and go, you're an idiot, mate, you're an idiot, or however you say it. But I'm not going to send you a picture to Ali Dawah. Ali Dawah, I'll tell you, it is probably the sort of boat that I used to throw out the pubs a lot. But anyway, I need to shut up. Been going 3 hours, mate. 3 hours. God, whiz, mate. You can talk. You can talk some SHIT, mate. But anyway, it's been good. So thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure. And I'll be back Monday at 1. Like I keep saying, Monday to Thursday at 1 p.m. Happy days. Got to get it all in there, haven't I? But it's all good. It's all happy days. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. But until Monday, 1 p.m, for now, ladies and gents, don't forget to like and subscribe. But that is the Wizard's Words.